incredible service.
You can't beat Burghardt.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Injuries happen, but you don't have to play in pain or stay on the sidelines. Whether it's your kids dealing with a sports injury, college athletes, or the rest of us weekend warriors, the experts at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin will quickly diagnose your problem, lay out a treatment plan that works for you, and get you back in the game. They fixed my knee. My mother-in-law is back on the dance floor with a new hip. These are the experts you can trust. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Beautify your entertainment space with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hi, this is Gina Della from Pella. Turn your ordinary space into something extraordinary with brand new Pella windows. Plus, getting the perfect windows and doors for your home has never been easier. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months, or no down payment, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months if you book before April 30th. Take ownership of your living space and make it a place worth living with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Hey, boaters!
Inexperienced boaters are more than welcome here, because at Kendor Marine you'll find all the answers to your questions on parts, installation, troubleshooting, and the best part is, when we figure out what you need, we can grab it from our massive inventory of boat parts and supplies that no one around can match. I'm Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
Hey, boaters!
Where else are you going to find weather stripping for a 77 Carver? That's what he said, and I don't know the answer to that one, but he sure was glad he found it here. I'm Dave Doro with Kendor Marine, and when it comes to boat parts and supplies, we have it all. If you're a boater and you need it, we got it. And that's why you got to get here. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Another day, another AL East team for the Brewers to take down.
And he'll throw him a lot. This is driven out to left center field. Racing back is Sawinski. He will look up and watch it leave. William Contreras.
The Rays beam into American Family Field with coverage of the game beginning tonight at 6:05 on your home of the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 3 o'clock. I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News for Monday, April 29th. Your top story: protests popping up on Wisconsin campuses.
I'm Greg Mansick. In for John Mercure. More support for our firefighters.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound on 43, your usual delays right before Hampton Avenue, stretching all the way down past Keefe. We've also got southbound 41 hitting the brakes from before Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Westbound 94 going to be slow out of the Marquette interchange, heading all the way to about the Stadium interchange. Overall, from downtown to the Zoo interchange, you're looking at an extra 2 minutes or so. Westbound 894 slow out of the Mitchell interchange to 68th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight will be cloudy with a low of 47. Tomorrow you get to see the sun. The high will be 67 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, tent encampments are on UW campuses as students protest the war in Gaza.
We're here to demand justice and freedom for our Palestinian brothers and sisters.
Hundreds of students and citizens gathered at UW Milwaukee to demand the university cut any and all ties to Israel, release a statement denouncing the war, among other demands. Until that happens, they say tents will remain on campus. This as students are getting ready for their final exams. Activist Samia said,
"They need to understand that there are more important things, and we need to make them uncomfortable. They should be uncomfortable at the fact that our university is directly aiding a genocide."
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, in New York, student protesters defy a deadline to leave the pro-Palestinian encampment at Columbia University.
Student protesters in the Columbia encampment were given a 2 p.m. deadline to leave and sign a form agreeing to comply with university rules through the end of the next academic year. But as that deadline passed, it became clear that few took the university up on that offer. The afternoon seeing those protesters energized. NYPD officers positioned just off campus, but have not taken any measures yet to enter and clear the protesters. Dave Packer, ABC News, New York.
In Tel Aviv, huge crowds gathered to protest Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's handling of the hostage crisis in Gaza. ABC's Tom Sufi Burridge.
We've seen a former top IDF commander in the crowd here. So it shows you, look, this is a diverse crowd. This is a cross-section of Israeli society. It is people who I think are broadly fed up with the status quo, that they say enough is enough.
Negotiations with Hamas continue in Cairo this week.
2 missing Milwaukee girls found. Police say 11-year-old Chloe Therese Henderson and 12-year-old Olive Gee are in good condition. No word yet on where they were discovered.
No charges filed against a Kenosha teacher accused of grooming a 14-year-old middle school student.
Kenosha police tell WTMJ the student's mother submitted screenshots from text and Snapchat conversations between the student and the K-Tech West Middle School teacher, which, while police say resembled that of a grooming relationship, did not amount to anything sexual in nature. While no charges have been filed against the teacher, the case has been referred to the district attorney's office for further review. A board meeting at the school to address the situation is planned for next week, Tuesday. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Well, the Milwaukee Fire Department is committing to mental health support.
I want to see our members smile again more. I want to see our members maintain and strengthen the interpersonal relationships with each other and with their family members and with their friends.
Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky tells WTMJ his firefighters are used to
tightening up our straps and let's go to the next one.
But now they are prioritizing mental health, especially with the increase in calls every year.
It has a cumulative effect. I don't think it goes away. It's stacking up and backing up on our firefighters quicker.
Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
Fire Lieutenant Joe Flick founded Ignite the Spirit MKE, a volunteer-driven nonprofit providing emotional and physical support for firefighters. They're partnering with MFD to now provide mental health support.
Coming up, all eyes shifting to Green Bay.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, approaching 3:05.
I'll say it again. Our mission is to protect and uphold our reputation. And what that means is wherever we go, we make it better for those in need of our services and the great people we have working with us. Our reputation matters. It matters to us, and it should matter to you. We believe that operating with integrity will set us apart from our competitors, and that this attracts people to us that share these same values. I say this because I want you to know when you work with Semper Fi, character counts. It's why you can count on the industry's hands-down best lifetime workmanship warranty that now includes free annual inspections. And it's why we always have one project manager per job, which is absolutely not the industry standard. When you're paying for a brand new roof to go on what's likely the biggest investment you have, you want it done right, and you want to be able to count on the people doing it. This is Brad Youngwith with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company.
Keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here with spring here and the warmer temps in the air. This is a great time to be doing all the fun outdoor stuff, right? Like the hiking, the biking, maybe going to the lake. But if your joints are flaring up, you may be having second thoughts maybe about hitting those 18 holes. Well, if you're tired of the achy joints, here's what you do. You call QC Kinetics. Do it before you agree to surgery or steroids or any other medication. It's what tens of thousands of patients are doing. Take Abby, for instance. Constant back pain. She had nonstop ice packs, steroids. It was exhausting for her, but thanks to QC Kinetics, Abby feels like a new person. No back pain thanks to QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. Call QC Kinetics. I'd love to be talking about your story next, your lasting relief with no downtime. Call QC Kinetics. Consultation is free. Hear about it now. 414-285-3474. That's 414-284-3474. QC Kinetics.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 3:07.
It is expected to be the largest event ever staged in Green Bay. And after this weekend's NFL draft in Detroit, it's on to the Northeast Wisconsin.
Green Bay is on the clock.
Makes it more real now that it's going to be in Green Bay next year.
Nick Meisner from Discover Green Bay was among the delegation that witnessed this weekend's draft in Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit was big.
Meisner tells Wisconsin's Morning News a big decision still has yet to be made.
We do know that it's going to be around the Lambeau Field area. What we don't know is exactly where the stage is going to be, where the draft footprint is going to start and end.
Less than a year now to figure it out. Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Brewers back on the field tonight. They will take on the Tampa Bay Rays in Game 1 of a 3-game series. Our coverage gets underway at 6:05 here on WTMJ. Packers make 11 selections in the draft. Undrafted rookie free agents being rattled off, and they'll have a mini camp in Green Bay coming up next week. And the Bucs are back home after losing games 3 and 4 of their best-of-7 series against the Pacers. Game 5 scheduled for Tuesday night at 8:30 at Fiserv Forum. Bucs need a win to continue their season.
Signing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:08.
Sponsored by Grandview Homes, the name you know, the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
I decided that spending the time and money to rehab the unit and sell it through conventional means was not in my best interest. They give you a fair price offer, close quickly, and pay promptly. The process with Grandview was virtually effortless.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
All Brewers games are on sale now. Coming up, a divisional battle with the Cardinals Thursday, May 9th through Sunday the 12th. Make your Saturday night plans for Star Wars night. Then take home a Mother's Day Brewers belt bag giveaway at the game on Sunday the 12th. Presented by American Family Insurance. Don't miss out on a weekend of rivalry baseball. Grab your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Julia Fellow.
Welcome to Wisconsin's After News. If you text WATCH, the talk and text line, 855-616-1620, you can see who's sitting next to me.
Hello.
Greg Matzik. So happy you're with us.
Good to be back. I actually thought I just left something in the studio from the other show, and I realized that John wasn't here, and then we didn't have anybody, so I just said I'll just pop the mic on until 6 o'clock, and I'll hang out with you.
Love it. All right, let's get right to it.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
All right, number 1, Greg.
Well, a possible GOP running mate's book.
I know. This is really sad. So if you're an animal lover and you don't want to hear this, just pop out for maybe 60 seconds. But it's big news right now. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem has been a rumored vice presidential hopeful to run with Trump on the presidential ticket. She wrote a new book, and in it she writes about killing her dog. In the book, No Going Back, the truth on what's wrong with politics and how we move America forward, she tells the story of her 14-month-old wire-haired pointer named Cricket. She had a hard time training for pheasant hunting. She said that she didn't like it, it bit her, and it killed her family chickens. So she wrote, I realized I had to put her down and shot the dog. She hopes sharing the story shows her willingness to do anything difficult, messy, and ugly, she says. People have taken to social media in droves against her decision. All right, number 2.
Number 2, UWM police chief is on leave.
So UW-Milwaukee's police chief, David Salazar, I've been trying to find sources on why he's been placed on administrative leave as of Friday. There was just a really vague email announcement. It said nothing as to why. We are working to learn what happened. He has been with UWM and the chief since 2021. Brian Switala is serving as the acting chief now. He was UWM's captain. Number 3.
Number 3 on the list, Wisconsin home prices are up 10%. If you're holding on to that house, it's probably good news for you. If you're looking for that house, maybe not so much.
I know, that's me. Me, not so much. So from March 2023 to March of this year, the average home price in the Badger State went up by 10.1%. The median housing price went up from $272,000 to $300,000. This according to the Wisconsin Realtors Association. The number of homes on the market rose 11%, and the interest rates are still really high, but they say the millennial demand is keeping the market hot, even with all those high interest rates. So how long have you had your home?
So we've been in our house and we built it about 7.5 years.
You're so lucky.
Well, the timing was fortunate. It definitely was fortunate because even building is not exactly a bargain right now, even though a construction loan is typically a much lower interest rate while the house is being built. But the problem now is you have so many people hanging on to their homes, and with good reason. You got an interest rate in the 2s. Maybe you have no payment at all, and there's just no real motivation to get into a new house. Even downsizing might end up costing you more money, right, if you think about that. But on the other side, you talked about millennials. they want in so bad that they're likely to pay a little more now with the thought of refinancing later. Because guess what happens when those rates do drop, Julia? All of a sudden, the open inventory gets sapped up, right? People are kind of waiting. It's a really weird needle to thread right now.
I just need to do it. I just need to go. It's tough. All right, coming up, a resolution to crack down on allegations of anti-Semitism on college campus is leaving House Democrats divided. We go to Washington, D.C. next.
WTMJ is your station to catch all things Brewers. Listen to Bob Uecker.
Get out of here and way gone!
Jeff Leverett.
Struck him out with a changeup.
Lane Grindle.
And it's a called third strike!
And Josh Mauer.
Watch this, baby. Goodbye.
Call every game.
I'm surprised you still have fingernails on that right hand.
Have a little fun.
I got more in my bag.
On your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. 620 WTMJ.
Each day there's a sliver of time when you can almost breathe freely. And you feel better when you can. But you know that eventually that sliver of time closes, along with your nose. It puts a damper on your day every day. So you pop a pill or you take a spray to try to get that relief back. But it's always short-lived. And all the while in your efforts to give yourself relief, you may be making your nasal breathing problems worse. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and a simple in-office procedure from Advent called balloon sinuplasty could be the fast and convenient answer to your breathing triangle problems. Advent has been a leader in this procedure, which can be hard to find elsewhere. It's simple, there's little to no downtime, and it really can be life-changing.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
Did your home suffer damage from a storm or severe weather? Don't stress any longer. Loyal Family Renovations treats all of its customers like they've joined their personal family, and every project as if the work was being done at their own house. Loyal Family Renovations has a leg up on the competition due to the personal relationships they've built with insurance adjusters over the years. Loyal Family is family-owned, and the loyalty belongs to their customers. Contact them today to help make your home remodeling dreams a reality. LoyalFamilyRenovations.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look outside with Debbie Lazaga.
All right, Julia. Southbound on 43, we are backing up from just about Hampton down past Capitol Drive, with the northbound side just a little bit tight, heading up from Center Street up to Keefe. Westbound on 94, heavy from about 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. 894 westbound is going to be a bit heavy out of the Mitchell interchange through the construction zone all the way to about Forest Home. Hey, while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you do happen to see something we should know about, give us a call on the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight will be cloudy with a low of 47. Tomorrow you get to see the sun. The high will be 67. Even better, Wednesday a slight chance of showers with a high of 72. Thursday a slight chance of showers as well. Breezy though, 67 at the lake, 74 inland. Tomorrow a chance of showers and storms with a high of 67 degrees. That would be Friday. The current temperature is 69 degrees and light rain in Milwaukee. Democrats are divided on anti-Semitism resolution. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News national correspondent, joins us from Washington. Stephen, thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you.
Can you tell us about the resolution to crack down on allegations of anti-Semitism on college campus?
Yes. Well, look, this is a bill that's expected to come up before the House this week. And what it would do is it would adopt for the Education Department's perspective a definition of anti-Semitism. You know, what does that phrase mean, and how can it be applied? And what the particular question is, how does it affect the Education Department's enforcement of Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964? That's a whole lot of substance I just threw at you. So let me pull it apart and pick it apart and try to dig a little deeper. The federal government spends a great deal of money every year on higher education in this country. And in order to receive it, colleges agree that they will abide by certain non-discrimination provisions that are in the Civil Rights Act. One of them has to do with preventing discrimination on the basis of national origin. And the question is, how does the federal government ensure that Jewish students do not fall victim to discrimination? And how will the federal government ensure that anti-Semitism doesn't occur on college campuses? How is it ensuring that Jews are not harassed? And do these protests that we've been seeing on television and are occurring in cities all across America on college campuses, how does the federal government, if it does, view this question of whether federal funding should be withdrawn from these schools if they're not doing enough to protect Jewish students from harassment or discrimination on college campuses as a function of these protests? So this bill would define anti-Semitism, but it would do it in a controversial way. The definition is written by a group called the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. And it essentially says, it makes a list of things that would be considered anti-Semitic. And one of the more controversial elements on the list is the idea that if you call Israel a racist state, that is inherently anti-Semitic, according to this definition that's been drafted, because the argument undermines the Jewish state's right to exist, and that is anti-Semitic, according to the authors of this definition that the House is poised to adopt for the Education Department. Democrats are of two minds on this. You have moderate Democrats who support Israel and America's ties with Israel, who want this bill passed and signed into law. You have progressive Democrats who say, wait a minute, the pro-Palestinian demonstrators say that this is meant to curtail their freedom of speech, and they should be able to criticize Israeli policies even if this group says that that's anti-Semitism. It's a nuanced argument. It's confusing as heck, but now you get a sense of the dynamic that will play out this week in the House.
Stephen, does this bill even exist if social media doesn't exist in its current form? I mean, the universities are under increased scrutiny to handle these student demonstrations appropriately. And we've seen over the weekend and even prior to the weekend some force being used to try and, quell demonstrators, their voices, their actions. We live in a social media age. Does this bill exist if we don't?
Well, there's another way of looking at it. Would this bill exist, or would there be a push for this bill if television cameras were not present at those college campuses? I don't know if you guys have eyes on it, but I do. I see three of the three major cable networks. Two of them have live shots from the University of Texas, where at this hour there is a phalanx of police in riot gear standing over these demonstrators in their tents and with their sleeping bags. Now, social media may have brought them there, but it's television cameras that's bringing it into the offices of members of Congress and into newsrooms. And so, look, it is what it is, but it is a flashpoint, and it is a focus of our national politics today.
I'm glad that you're able to bring this all into, so everybody can understand, because that was really complicated. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News national correspondent, joining us. We have UW-Madison and UW-Milwaukee. We have tents that are being put up here in Wisconsin. But here's the thing. If that bill passes and is signed, what about our First Amendment rights of free speech?
Well, that's the debate. The question becomes, and again, you got to follow the bouncing ball here, but what this bill would do is it would codify a certain definition that would then be the onus would be on the Education Department to take that definition as it enforces federal law when it comes to discrimination, and it would then you'd have to follow it and say, all right, well, what schools violate the law then under this definition, and does the presence of the protesters violate the law? What if the university, like the University of Texas, as we see on television, or Columbia University, as we're hearing about, is doing what it seems to be able to try to do to get these campers, these protesters off the quad? They have been told that they have to leave. I mean, the 2 o'clock Eastern Time deadline has passed. These students are defiant. They say they don't care if graduation is canceled. It's not going to move them off. They don't care if they're suspended and they've wasted their $89,000 annual tuition. They're not going to move. Well, should the university be held accountable for that? And the question is, should federal funding be withdrawn? When it comes to free speech, well, I don't know. You know, there was a class action lawsuit that was filed today by Jewish students at Columbia University who say that the university has not done enough to protect their rights. So you could look at it from both sides.
You know, Stephen, it was introduced by a Republican and a Democrat, but if I'm hearing you right, there may not be that full level of support on either side of it. Is that a fair way to look at it?
I think it will pass the House. So that's, for all intents and purposes, the most important thing in the House of Representatives. When it comes to whether it'll actually become law, I think it's up to Senator Schumer in the Senate to decide whether he wants to put it on the floor. I don't think that's going to happen because I see the House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries poo-pooing it a bit, saying that the leadership of the House ought to look for something that would achieve more widespread support. So I imagine the Democrats in the Senate will not be eager to get this on Joe Biden's desk. But not to further complicate things, but as it happens, in 2019, Donald Trump signed an executive order that instructed the Education Department to take this very same definition up and use it as a basis for determining whether schools are engaging in discrimination by allowing anti-Semitism on campus. That is still on the books. This bill would codify it into law. You see, the difference between an executive order and a law is an executive order can be revoked by the sign of a simple piece of paper by a president. A law is a little bit harder to repeal.
There you go. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News national correspondent. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We really appreciate it.
You bet.
Up next, we talk to Bucks in-game host and radio personality for 620 and 101.7 The Truth and producer for Dr. Ken's show. Wow, big title. Jason Smith. We talk about last night's game and what our Bucks need to do to rally in the playoffs.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Transform your bathroom like we did. It's Sidex, S-I-D-E-X, Sidex. Take out that conventional bathtub, put in a walk-in shower. That's what we did at our house. It's beautiful. It's open. It's transformed our bathroom. And right now with Sidex, you get $750 off any bathtub or shower replacement. They serve within 60 miles of Milwaukee. It's Sidex. They did the work at our house. It was quick. It was affordable, it was efficient, and our bathroom is beautiful. Go with the company we trust, Sidex. Free shower door upgrade when you mention WTMJ or John Mercure.
Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage, available at Navage.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
If you could spend 1 month anywhere, where would you go?
Easy. I'd go to bed.
I mean anywhere in the world.
Precisely.
You'd spend the entire month in bed?
Specifically, a new Tempur-Pedic from Hasselus Mattress.
Why?
Because I can take 60 months to pay for it. Through Monday, get 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic mattresses, plus a $300 MasterCard gift card.
60 months. That means...
You can buy a Queen Tempur-Pedic Pro Adapt Hybrid with ease adjustable base for just $74 a month.
And I get a $300 MasterCard gift card.
Free next-day delivery and employee-free showrooms, too.
So I can try and buy...
With no pushy sales guy.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
Searching for a travel agent to book a month-long vacation at Hasselus Mattress.
Enjoy 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedics through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
After 125 years, Port Washington State Bank knows how to help your business expand. I'm James Showalter, president of PWSB and a proud resident of Ozaukee County. As a fifth-generation family business, PWSB cares deeply about helping you achieve your goals. Our commercial lending team takes the time to listen and provide the care you deserve. It's the way we've done business since 1899. Stop into Port Washington State Bank today.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Time for a WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. Solid day here as all the indices finish in the green for a Monday. The Dow Jones up 146 points to close at 38,386. The NASDAQ flirting with 16,000 again, up 55 points to 15,983. S&P 500 also up today about 16.5 points, closing at 5116. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com, click on the Get Started button today, and better understand your pension and how it affects your retirement plans. You can join WTMJ's Skeeve Scafidi tomorrow and Annex Wealth Management's Eric Strom. They've got a free webinar specifically tailored to State of Wisconsin pension program participants. It's an hour-long webinar tomorrow. It starts at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock tomorrow, April 30th. If you want to register, please text the word Annex, A-N-N-E-X, to our WTMJ talk and text line. Text the word Annex to 855-616-1620 or visit annexwealth.com/events.
Inflation, market volatility, global unrest, a presidential election. There's a lot going on, which might lead to anxiety and planning paralysis. You're not alone if you're feeling stressed about your investment and retirement planning. How about this? Take control with help from Annex Wealth Management. Build a plan that works for you, your family, and your investment and retirement goals. Even better, Annex does it as a fee-only fiduciary with unbiased advice that includes tax and estate planning. Annex offers financial planning at every level. If you're just starting out, Annex Ignite might be for you. Annex Comprehensive Wealth is a great fit for most, especially with retirement on the horizon. And if you've got high net worth and complex planning challenges, consider Annex Private Client. Head to annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button. It only takes a few minutes to start the conversation, and you can set your own appointment at a time that works for you. It's time to put things in order and lower the stress and anxiety. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management. annexwealth.com.
There are surgeons lining up to be the one to do your joint replacement. But my advice? Exhaust all your options and put off joint replacement as long as you can. Make it your very last resort, because life after joint replacement isn't always what it's cracked up to be. As high as 30% of patients who have undergone joint replacement surgery report unsatisfactory results. And the cost, even with insurance, can be extraordinary. At Rejuvenex, we'll help ease your pain and improve your mobility with FDA-approved pharmacological treatments that precisely target where your pain lives. And by easing your pain and inflammation, we'll help you live a better life. And because we're in network with most major insurance plans, your out-of-pocket expense could be very affordable. Or nothing at all. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Traffic is sponsored by Hiller Ford, a family-owned dealership on Highway 100 in Franklin.
Ford Motor Company has awarded Hiller Ford with their Ford President's Award for customer service 18 times. One more reason people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:31. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story: a mayor just hit by a car.
I'm Greg Matzik. Still not safe to take your hands off the wheel.
I'm Debbie Lago. We got some problems. Westbound 94, right at the stadium interchange, the left lane is blocked with a broken down vehicle. So it is going to be solid out of the Marquette all the way to that point. On northbound 43, slowing down just north of North Avenue up to Keefe. Southbound's a bit heavy from before Hampton all the way down past Keefe. And still have that delay on westbound 894 from the Mitchell interchange all the way to about 68th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Tonight will be cloudy with a low of 47 degrees. Tomorrow we get to see the sun. The high will be 67 degrees. Currently there's light rain, 69 degrees in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the mayor of West Dallas is urging drivers to slow down after he was just hit by a car today.
Mayor Dan Devine is fine. He says he was walking the dog when he was hit while crossing the street this morning. The driver was turning right while looking left. Devine posting on Facebook he wasn't even knocked over, but he did suffer a bruised hip. The dog is okay. The mayor joked that while some people may dream about hitting him with a car, he's asking everyone to slow down and to keep an eye out for pedestrians, bikers, and children walking to and from school. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Well, no charges have been filed against a Kenosha teacher accused of grooming a 14-year-old middle school student.
Kenosha police tell WTMJ the student's mother submitted screenshots from text and Snapchat conversations between the student and the K-Tech West Middle School teacher, which, while police say resembled that of a grooming relationship, did not amount to anything sexual in nature. While no charges have been filed against the teacher, the case has been referred to the district attorney's office for further review. A board meeting at the school to address the situation is planned for next week, Tuesday. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Pro-Palestinian protests continue on college campuses. ABC's Alex Stone.
On college campuses across the country, more protests. This is what it sounds like at the University of Texas, Austin, as police again move in wearing riot gear and a crowd again ignores dispersal orders at campuses including the University of Southern California, UCLA, and Columbia University in New York. Loud protests continue as well. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Tents are also up at UWM and UW-Madison today as part of local protests.
A flipped car, collapsed porch, and dozens arrested at a block party in Madison over the weekend.
Madison police responding during the annual Mifflin Street block party to a report of a first-floor porch breaking under the weight of its occupants. This happening in the middle of the night Saturday. No one was injured, and it's unknown exactly how many people were on the porch. Shortly after the collapse, partygoers flipped over a car. Again, nobody was injured. Police arresting more than 80 people for minor alcohol-related offenses. 6 people booked into Dane County Jail after thousands gathered for the block party. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
The state of Wisconsin unveiling its new 4-year state dementia plan, which will run until 2028. Wisconsin Alzheimer's Association Director of Public Policy tells Wisconsin's Midday News the plan's purpose.
It's really going to serve as a roadmap for our state partners, community partners, and everybody across the state to ensure that we are improving the quality of care for people living with dementia and also the more than 205,000 people that are caring for them in just our state.
Feedback from all 72 counties in our state factored into the planning, especially hearing from patients, caregivers, and medical professionals.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration investigating a Ford driver assist feature following deadly crashes.
The driver assist feature known as Blue Cruise was engaged when 2 separate Ford Mustang Mach-E vehicles did not stop for disabled cars without lights in front of them. In one crash, 2 people died while they were standing on the highway outside of their disabled car. In another crash where 1 person died, police believe the Ford driver was drunk. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the partial automation system is designed with the expectation that the driver is alert and supervises the system's performance. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Unlike autopilot, Ford says drivers using Blue Cruise can take their hands off the wheel, but they are still expected to pay attention to the road and take control at a moment's notice if necessary. Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. After selecting 11 players in the recently completed draft, the Packers will invite the crop to Green Bay for rookie minicamp next week. Among the group, UW lacrosse offensive lineman Mike Bertoya is among the undrafted rookies brought in to Green Bay. The Bucs return home after falling to the Pacers in back-to-back games, including last night. Pacers lead the series 3-1, Game 5 Tuesday night at 8:30 in Milwaukee. And the Brewers' run against AL East division teams continues tonight, the first of 3 against the Rays. Coverage gets underway right after the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:36.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucs game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucs in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucs in 6 on the Bucs Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucs.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
All
Bucks in-game host Jason Smith, also a radio personality for 620 WTMJ, 101.7 The Truth, producer for Dr. Ken Harris.
For sure, yeah.
Anything else?
Here. I mean, I don't know. I think you covered it all. I think you did a great job.
What do you think about tomorrow?
So tomorrow, I'm ready for tomorrow. I'm excited for tomorrow. I believe that if we like I said, we have nothing to lose. If we just go out there and give our all, most likely Dame's not playing. Most likely Giannis is not playing. We got Chris Middleton, who's been balling. I don't want to hear any more Chris Middleton slander because he's been balling these last couple of days. Dropped that 40 piece, then dropped the 25 last night. I expect Bobby to be, I'm not going to say be in control of his emotions more because, listen, last night I know he was irritated, got into the little scuffle. I'm upset he got ejected because we didn't need him. We were already undermanned. But we going to run this back tomorrow, and we hopefully we just walk away with a win.
You know, this is kind of the frustrating reality when you're one of the oldest teams in the NBA.
Yeah.
And for the second year in a row, the Bucks are the oldest team in the NBA. So you've got this weird thing where you're trying to maximize the window of opportunity with Giannis and surround him with players who have been there, experienced, quality players, all-stars, future Hall of Famer in Dame. And you're hoping that as long as everybody's healthy by the postseason, you should be good, right? Injuries in the regular season, not a problem. But these injuries have cropped up in the postseason, and it's clearly been a problem.
And that's with a veteran team, that's one of the major concerns. Whenever you hear about a championship contending team that's also a veteran team, it's always barring injury. As long as the team is healthy for the playoffs. And now we get to the playoffs, and right before it, Giannis goes down. In it, Dame goes down. So that is one of the most frustrating things to have. Now, we know we need a veteran team in order to win the championship 9 times out of 10. So that's the balance. It's the delicate balance.
And Middleton rolled his ankle.
Yeah,
but
he's probably hobbled too.
He's hobbled. No, don't
probably.
say hobbled.
No. I'm just saying probably.
I feel like every day he's just sort of hobbled, don't you? Like even if he's healthy, he's hobbled a little bit.
Something is wrong, just a little something. But he plays through it most of the time, so we're good.
You know, Bobby was making the headlines even before the last game, talking about how there was a lot of trash talk.
Oh yeah, it's heated.
The first game when they beat him, there was no trash talk, and then when they beat him, there was a lot of trash talk, and then this latest game, it must have really gotten to him.
Honestly, it all starts, if we go back to the in-season tournament, we had the Pacers versus the Bucks, and Tyrese Halliburton hit a clutch 3 and actually did Dame celebration in front of Dame, did the Dame time celebration in front of Dame. Yep, and Dame said that in the press conference, he was like, Tyrese Halliburton better just be ready to get basically what you gave. So I think that's kind of where the beef started, and then you just keep it going. Like Tyrese Halliburton just dissed Milwaukee's fan base, just dissed the crowd and said he said the crowd's not that loud. He can't wait to get to Indiana so he can really feel the energy of a loud crowd. You're from here. Come on, Tyrese. You from here. But hey, listen, I'm ready for the next game. Let's just get it.
This is what the playoffs do, because there have been years the Bucks have played the Atlanta Hawks. Are they a real rival of the Bucks? No. But during that series, you start to separate villains and heroes, and that's just kind of how it goes. Bobby's a villain in Indiana. Halliburton is a local kid, but he's kind of a villain right now. He's the enemy. And they want to rip the heart out of the opponent.
That's the beauty.
Home court advantage was lost when the Bucks lost the second game, but the only way the series extends is to win on the other team's floor. You'll have to do that, but it starts with a win tomorrow. You win tomorrow, great. Then you go to Indiana, but if you don't win against Indiana, the series doesn't even come back. So it's a tall order here for the Bucks. They do not win without Giannis, in my opinion, Jason. If he's not able to play tomorrow, I don't think the Bucks win. I really don't.
I agree with you. I think it'll be a tough. Now, listen, anything is possible in the NBA. Anything can happen. But I think it'll be a very tall task for it to expect the Bucks to beat an Indiana Pacers team without their 2 best players.
How are you going to keep the fans in it then?
Yeah, it's hard. It's a delicate balance, because it's like the fans want to be excited and want to cheer for their guys and want to cheer for the team, but it's hard when you don't have much to cheer for.
You're going to have to work OT.
We're going to have to turn it up a little bit more. Extra notch.
You are a perfect man to do that.
Yeah, all right?
Right? If anybody's going to get a crowd hyped, it's you. I trust you more than anybody out there.
Awesome. Jason Smith, Bucks in-game host and radio personality for everyone with Good Karma Brands. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar.
Lillard. Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and Curbless ready-to-drink cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
With all the positive Google reviews continuing to pour in for Rich Lawton's Tire and Service Centers, we want you to know we appreciate you.
You were due for service, we delivered, and then you went the extra mile and wrote a few kind words about the service you experienced.
Yeah, thank you so much. Michael, Glenn, Jeff, Lisa, Carol, Jason, John,
Wait,
Michelle,
hang on a
Ryan.
second, Dad. As fun as it may be to name every single person who's ever left us a Google review, there just isn't enough time. We get 60 seconds, and I'd say we've got about 28 left.
Ah, good point, Courtney.
Listen, we appreciate every last one of you for helping us maintain a nearly 5-star Google rating. And we're going to keep on shooting for the stars, especially when it comes to providing top-notch auto repair service.
Yep, and remember, be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. Peter, Bruce, Samantha, Kimberly, Nick, Heather,
Oh,
Marissa,
Dad.
George, Jeremy, Diane, Brad, Paul.
Inflation is real, but not at the family-owned Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. This is new. Every Monday, when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza free. Buy 5 pizzas, get 5 free. Buy 10, get 10 free pizzas. Coaches and teachers, bring your team or school club. Your players will love the pizza and that world-class game room. It's safe. It's super affordable. It's great team bonding. Bring in pizza today for your loyal employees and clients. They'll remember you, and a great way to start the week is your second pizza is always free. Don't cook and clean today. Mondays are tough enough. Enjoy the free pizza at the Mine Shaft. I love the pizza. Your kids and grandkids will love that huge game room. Order now, pick up your pizza shortly, or dine in. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and just off the interstate in Oshkosh. Buy one pizza today, get one free for an easy Monday. And desserts, buy one, get one free. Just walk on in. MineShaftRestaurant.com. It's the amazing Mine Shaft.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you tires and batteries, trust and care, because we get you. So get out on the road and stay safe with quality automotive parts and service at unbeatable prices. Right now, select tires are buy 3, get 1 free with up to $100 consumer rebate on select Goodyear tires when you buy 4. Assorted Blaine's Farm and Fleet vehicle batteries start at $43.99. And 5-gallon Midwest can fuel cans, your choice, just $19.99. Tires and batteries, trust and care at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and weather. Let's get you home with Debbie Lazaga.
All right, got a couple of issues. One, westbound on 94, right in the stadium interchange, the left lane is blocked with a broken down vehicle, so watch out for the delays coming out of the Marquette. We've also got westbound 94 just past Gerke's Corners with a broken down vehicle off on the right shoulder. Then there's also a crash on the off-ramp to Blue Mound Road from 94 eastbound. So all these things kind of tying together as being a bit of a slower ride through that area. On southbound 41, backing up from before Hampton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. Southbound on 43 also slowing down from just past Hampton down past Capitol to about Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight will be cloudy with a low of 47 degrees. Tomorrow you get to see the sun. The high will be 67 degrees. Wednesday, a slight chance of showers with a high of 72. Thursday, a chance of showers again, breezy too, 67 at the lake, 74 inland. Friday, there's a chance of showers and storms with a high of 67 degrees. Currently in Milwaukee, light rain, and it's 69 degrees. A huge collaboration by the Associated Press. Frontline PBS will air this as a documentary about this project tomorrow at 9 p.m. and the Howard Centers for Investigative Journalism. They found dozens of deaths which reveal the risks of injecting sedatives into people who are being restrained by police. One of those investigative journalists is Ryan J. Foley, who joins us by phone. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
First off, thank you. What are these drugs people are injected with?
Yeah, there's a range of drugs that paramedics use to sedate people during these incidents, and two of the most common we found are a drug called midazolam, which is perhaps better known by its brand name Versed, and then another drug called ketamine, which was used in the two cases that we looked at in Wisconsin.
It led to about 94 deaths that were highlighted in your report. And as you said, 2 of them took place in Wisconsin. I saw that you actually led your report with Demetrio Jackson's case out of Eau Claire. Can you share what happened in that case?
Yeah, Demetrio Jackson's tragic death is an example of what can go wrong in these incidents and how difficult it can be to pinpoint exactly what the cause of death is in these cases. So Demetrio Jackson was a person who struggled with mental health issues, who struggled with drug use, and he had taken some methamphetamine. This happened in October of 2021 in Eau Claire and Altoona, Wisconsin, in the western part of the state. And officers are called to a trespassing incident where he was outside of a radio station standing on a car at about 4 in the morning. And eventually the incident escalates because he was on probation, and after they decided to arrest him, he didn't want to be arrested, so he ran. Demetrio Jackson was eventually tased twice. He was restrained face down in what's known as the prone position while officers got him into handcuffs and searched him for a few minutes. And he starts to, complain at that point that he can't breathe, that he's in serious medical distress, which seemed to have started after he was, tased and restrained. Then he's sitting there, and the medics arrive, and he gets injected with 400 milligrams of ketamine as he's sitting there, and then they put him in the ambulance, and on the way to the nearby hospital, that's when he, suffers cardiac arrest. And they were able to revive him, but he was essentially brain dead, and he died 2 weeks later after being in a coma.
Wow. And what was his cause of death?
So his cause of death, that cited by the medical examiner in Ramsey County, Minnesota, who did his autopsy, was that he died from complications of the use of methamphetamine. And we had 2, outside medical examiners review his death for us. And one of them said that they both agreed that meth wasn't the whole story. They said that the police altercation, and particularly the restraint, likely played a role in his death. And one of them said that she believes ketamine played a role in his death, while the other said it was as a possible contributing factor.
Why did they give him ketamine? Can the police just say, if you're resisting, they try to taser, still resisting on the ground, can they just tell someone that comes with an ambulance that they need to inject them with something?
Paramedics have the final call on when to use these medications, but we did find examples where police made suggestions or requests, to paramedics to sedate specific people. In Demetrio Jackson's case, it appears to have been a little more subtle than that. So the officers start to say that they believe Demetrio Jackson had a condition called excited delirium, which is a seriously agitated state that supporters of this idea say it can lead to sudden death without medical intervention, but it's been widely discredited and disavowed by the medical community. So we hear in this case that officers saying they believe that he had excited delirium. You hear one officer saying to the medics, "Do you have something to speed this up?" And sort of cheering when the medic comes back with the vial of ketamine and saying that he's not going to like it when he gets poked. So in some cases, it seems like the use of these sedatives has become, a matter of convenience for law enforcement because they knock people out and they end the incidents, essentially. Now here, Demetrio Jackson wasn't really resisting anymore when he was injected, and we had 5 experts tell us that he did not meet the criteria for being injected, which is you're supposed to be, an immediate danger to yourself or others if you aren't sort of immediately calmed down. And they said that what they saw in the body cam video that we provided them didn't meet that high bar.
And when you talk about racial disparities, you talk about excited delirium and how that term can play into stereotypes.
That's right. And that's one reason why it's been disavowed by the medical community, that it relied on stereotypes like superhuman strength and people that are loud and resisting the police, and that it's been disproportionately applied to African American males since it became a concept really back in the 1980s. And we found of the 94 deaths across the country in this scenario that half of them were black.
What ended up happening to Demetrio?
So Demetrio Jackson, he died, and there really hasn't been a lot of justice there or any sort of accountability. What happened was his death was actually initially ruled to be from natural causes, and then they later revised that and said it was an accidental death. The prosecutor in Eau Claire reviewed the findings of a state DOJ investigation and said, I don't even think this is an officer-involved death, so I don't have to review whether the force was appropriate. And therefore, he also didn't have to obviously review the actions of the paramedics. So that's really all that's happened. And he's got a family in Indiana that is, upset by the way he was treated and feels like his death was sort of not adequately investigated.
And what did the Eau Claire police say?
They reviewed the actions of their officers. So there was actually 3 different police agencies that were involved in this response. It started with 2 Altoona officers, and then 3 Eau Claire officers came as backup, and there was also the Eau Claire County Sheriff's deputies that were involved. But all 3 of those agencies, reviewed the actions of their officers who were involved in the use of force and restraint, and they said that, they acted appropriately. And the Eau Claire Fire Department, which administered the sedative, says that they just cannot talk about this because of medical privacy issues.
So thankful to Ryan J. Foley for joining us. I really appreciate it. This is just part 1 of the Associated Press investigative reporter Ryan J. Foley's case. Part 2 will air at this time tomorrow, where we delve into another Wisconsin case. A young man named Adam Tremmel died in an incident involving West Milwaukee police in 2017. We'll tell you about the 2 drugs that he was injected with, according to court records, when he did not cooperate with officers. There was a big settlement in that case we'll get into. We'll share why cases like these have EMS workers who come on scene now reevaluating all of their protocols. Ryan will talk about that. Again, that airs tomorrow right here on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. And if you ever want to get up to date on what we've covered, just text WAN to our talk and text line. It stands for Wisconsin's Afternoon News at 855-616-1620. You can listen back to all of our segments just like this one, the huge collaboration by the Associated Press, Frontline PBS, and the Howard Centers for Investigative Journalism that found dozens of deaths, which reveal the risks of injecting sedatives into people who are being restrained by police. The time right now is 3:55. When we come back, Debbie will get you home. We'll get you updated with weather, traffic, and sports, and your top stories. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
2 new vendors are coming to the Mequon Public Market. Thai City Cuisine is preparing to take over the former Falafel Guy's space, and Lakeside Cookie Company will occupy the footprint of a former floral shop. The CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee recently resigned, and the organization's former CEO is returning as the organization's interim leader. Kathy Thornton Bias said she resigned as she looks to step back from the work world and consider new opportunities. Third Space Brewing is nearing completion of its 3rd location called Innovation Brew House. The new taproom in Menominee Falls will complement its existing taproom in Menominee Valley and a seasonal beer garden in Elm Grove. I'm Teddy Nykel with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
This report sponsored by the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Join Trees on the Move this weekend from 9 to 4 for our annual Mother's Day sale with savings up to 30% on selected nursery stock. Maples, linden, birch, ornamental trees, flowering crab, and all varieties of evergreens. There's over 20,000 trees to choose from. Our landscape architects will be on hand to answer all of your patio, retaining wall, and backyard questions. Call 262-679-5200 for more info or see treesonthemove.com.
From planning to planting, Trees on the Move.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Burkhart. We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com. Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
At Kowal Investment Group, we've been helping our clients plan for retirement for over 36 years. We'd like to help you too. Visit thekowalway.com or call 262-522-4040.
Another day, another AL East team for the Brewers to take down.
And he'll throw him a lot. This is driven out to left center field. Racing back is Sawinski. He will look up and watch it leave. William Contreras.
The Rays beam into American Family Field with coverage of the game beginning tonight at 6:05 on your home of the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News for Monday, April 29th. Your top story, campus protests reach Milwaukee.
I'm Greg Madsick, in for John Mercure, getting more from my tax money.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Going to be slowing down along 41 southbound from Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol Drive. On southbound 43 is a little bit heavy from Hampton down past Keefe, with the northbound side backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Got some backups now from about 2nd Street on 94 westbound, technically 794 westbound. Through the Marquette, though, stays heavy all the way to the Stadium interchange. We also have an accident on eastbound 94's off-ramp to Blue Mound Road, right in the Gerke's Corners area, so just be extra careful. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Scattered showers tonight. The low will be 47 degrees. Tomorrow, really sunny. The high will be 67. Currently, it's cloudy and 68 degrees in Milwaukee. In the WTMJ Breaking News Center, students protesting in California, Virginia, and now here in Milwaukee.
Tents are up at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee to protest the war in Gaza. Charlene Sevier held a sign saying education is a right.
People need to stop killing each other. I don't think there's any value in that.
Jim Carpenter said he feels betrayed by his party.
I'm outraged as a Democrat that the majority of Democrats voted to give Israel more military aid.
For activist Sami Assaid, it's not Israeli versus Palestinian.
This is political and this is related to money. This is not related to religion at all.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
UWM-Dana students and the UWM Police Department remind students that campus protest guidelines prohibit camping on university property occupying buildings, and disrupting university events or classes.
Meanwhile, at Columbia University, student protesters had a deadline to leave their pro-Palestinian encampment or face suspension. They didn't move.
Leave the encampment or face academic suspension. That from Columbia Monday to pro-Palestinian protesters. But as a 2 p.m. deadline passed, it became clear those students were going to stay. Protesters swayed up a lot, blasting the university's ultimatum.
Losing access to their housing, losing access to campus, losing access to health care on campus, and losing their right to graduation if they are a graduating student.
The students were given the opportunity to stay and continue the semester in good standing if they had left the encampment. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Police moved in with riot gear at the University of Texas at Austin, with the crowd ignoring dispersal orders.
Another pedestrian death in the city of Milwaukee. A 65-year-old was trying to cross the street near 60th and Marion last Friday night, hit by a car traveling on 60th. That pedestrian was rushed to the hospital, died today from their injuries. The 25-year-old driver did stay on scene and was arrested. We hear charges are pending.
Animal mistreatment charges filed against the co-owner of a Cedarburg animal sanctuary.
Holly Rose Herbst is accused of animal mistreatment and failure to provide drink to confined animals. According to the criminal complaint obtained by WTMJ, multiple unannounced visits to Autumn Farm Sanctuary by authorities found negligence in providing food, water, and shelter, including bowls of water that were filthy with mud and feces. After the second unannounced visit, the Ozaukee County Sheriff's Office seized 45 animals from the sanctuary. Herbst is due in court May 18th. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Property tax assessments are in the mail, bringing some sticker shock to Milwaukee residents. Commercial properties are up 10%, while residential properties are seeing an increase of more than 17%. Senior advisor to Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce, Tim Sheehy, tells Wisconsin's Midday News it's all about getting what you pay for.
Rising costs are never a good thing, but again, I think people make a value judgment out of that. Am I getting better garbage pickup? Is it safer? Are the schools better? Then I'm willing to pay those. But if I see that rising cost go up and I don't see the commensurate value in the services, then it tends to move people to say, maybe I should look outside the city.
Sheehy says that just because your property taxes assessment went up does not necessarily mean your actual taxes will.
The latest Wisconsin State Dementia Plan rolling out. Wisconsin Alzheimer's Association Director of Public Policy Allison Kramer tells Wisconsin's Midday News, while assembling the plan, it's important to reach out to people dealing with the disease.
We held community conversations across the state of Wisconsin, so a little under 50 community conversations. And then there was also an online survey which gathered a little over 2,000 results. And we're really happy to say that we have feedback from the entire state, all 72 counties.
The new plan includes a community advisory board made up of patients and caregivers to continually evaluating the plan's progress.
Coming up, making your own healthy soil.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 4:05.
Ready to tackle that honey-do list? WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets. Spring cleaning time. My friends Katie and Dan at Inspired Closets want to help you calm the chaos. Inspired Closets will transform your closets or laundry room, your pantry, any space in your house. They come out for a free visit and use their 3D software to tailor a space specific to you. Right now, get 10% off or 18 months free financing. Contact them today for more details. Tell them Vinny sent you. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. At a member, new car dealers have factory-warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are as low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
I'm living the life that I lived before I started having knee pain 10 years ago.
Meet Julie, a woman who makes the most of every moment in life. But over the last years, those moments were filled with agonizing pain until she discovered QC Kinetics.
Finally, the pain got so bad that people around me are like, oh, when are you getting your knee replaced? I was walking, hobbling. I listened to my last QC Kinetics commercial and I said, I'm done. I got to find out about this.
What Julie found out was that QC Kinetics treats pain associated with osteoarthritis with regenerative therapy. therapies, taking your body's own healing properties and concentrating them in the areas where you feel pain, helping heal and restore those damaged areas. No harmful steroids, surgery, or downtime.
It changed how I'm living. I'm able to do the things that I wasn't able to do for a long time.
Get back your life before the pain. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 4:07.
Turning food scraps into soil in your own backyard.
It really is one of the most visual closed-loop systems you can have, and the whole family can get involved.
It's the City of Milwaukee's 13th annual compost bin sale. Resource Recovery Program Manager for the City of Milwaukee, Laura Stevens, tells WTMJ about the home composter.
It's easy to use, easy to assemble, easy to get home. It lasts long.
The bins should be filled with a mixture of brown waste like leaves and green waste from the kitchen.
Banana peels, orange peels, coffee, eggshells, tea leaves.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Backyard composting bins can be ordered through May 19th with pickup on June 1st. Visit WTMJ.com for more details.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Packers will conduct a rookie minicamp just about a week after selecting 11 players in the recently completed event, which will be held in Green Bay in 2025. The Bucs return home after losing to the Pacers in back-to-back games in Indiana. Game 5 of their best-of-7 playoff series tomorrow night at 8:30. Still unclear if Giannis or Damian Lillard will be cleared to play. And the Brewers, after dropping 2 of 3 to the Yankees, welcome in the Tampa Bay Rays for Game 1 of a 3-game series. Coverage of tonight's game gets underway after the 6 o'clock news.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time of 4:09.
Sponsored by Grandview Homes, the name you know, the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
I'm looking for the fastest and easiest way to sell my home, and I keep hearing one name over and over. So I ask people, why Grandview Homes instead of a real estate agent?
Well, everything they say in their TV ads is true, and then some. Very fair price, no real estate agent fees or closing costs.
After 46 years in the same house, we accumulated a lot of stuff. It was very convenient to just leave everything.
They even switched the utilities out of your name.
Oh, that's nice. I guess they really try to make it easy.
Easy, quick, and fair.
Within weeks, we had closed and couldn't be happier.
Sounds like you'd recommend Grandview.
I would, without a doubt, recommend Grandview Homes.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. We buy every home as is, and you'll get a fair cash offer in just hours. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Julia Fellow.
So happy you're with us, Greg.
Happy to be here. Thank you very much on a Monday.
Standing the whole time.
I'm a stander. I'm definitely, my watch buzzes off every 20 minutes when I'm not standing, so I'm listening to my watch and I stand now and then.
Awesome. Do you have milk in your home? I'm assuming
we do. We sure do.
So do we. Sam has oat milk. Thank goodness.
Okay.
All right. So bird flu has been infecting dairy cows all over the country. This has been big news. Now we're hearing from the Food and Drug Administration that 1 in 5 commercial milk samples that they tested in a nationwide survey contains particles of bird flu. There's a doctor that spoke on ABC News, Dr. Jennifer Ashton, about the impact of this. Take a listen.
We've been tracking over the last few years infections in poultry, sea mammals, most recently dairy cows, and 1 human case recently in this country, mild. The milk supply, pasteurized, which is 99% of our milk supply in this country, now showing some fragments of this avian bird. So right now, and I recently spoke to a very senior official with the CDC about this, she said the overall risk to the general American population is low, particularly from dairy cows. However, quote unquote, they are taking this very seriously.
The dairy industry is so important to our state, Greg, as everybody knows, really the world. The Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation says 90% of the milk produced in Wisconsin is used to produce cheese, and 90% of that cheese is sold outside of the dairy state. A $45.6 billion economic impact in this state every year. Though the risk to humans is low, as you heard, it sounded the alarm bells for farmers like Kyle Zwig, who owns a 70-cow farm just north of Oconomowoc. And I asked him how this could have happened in the first place.
Obviously, cattle are outside and have access to outdoors, so there is interactions with other animal species. It apparently must have been through some type of bird-cow interaction or commingling.
His farm, Zwig Maple Acres, is his livelihood, and he's concerned about those infections spreading, as we've seen.
If you would see something like that in the dairy industry, it would be catastrophic.
So this is what we know now, Greg. Initial reports show the USDA shows the effects of bird flu on a cow could cause a lack of appetite, causing the lack of lactation process. Now, there's a very low chance it could spread to humans, especially with the pasteurization process, which involves heating liquids to high temperatures for short periods of time to kill harmful bacteria. Zwig has been researching it, and he has been talking to other dairy farmers who say if one cow contracts the flu, there's a chance that it goes to the whole herd. So we will be following this. The dairy industry employs more than 100,000 people in our state alone. So we'll be keeping a look at that.
Yeah, ground beef comes to mind too, right? And I know the USDA is going to be testing that.
Oh.
Milk is a big one, but ground beef is obviously a byproduct of cows, and that's something you got to pay attention to also.
I didn't think of that. All right, up next, Brewers play-by-play broadcaster Lane Grindle joins us as Brew Crew gets ready to play Tampa Bay Rays.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
For your next night out, make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel, your dinner destination. Aria, nestled on the second floor of St. Kate, is an artful dining experience that captivates with its culinary creativity. Delighting in its offering of artisanal American cuisine, the restaurant transcends tradition and leans into the realm of playful and inventive flavors. Come and experience the magic of Aria, where every bite is a work of culinary artistry. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com.
When you ask people here, what's the one thing that makes Diamonds Direct their favorite jeweler? For some, it's the unbeatable pricing we get through our direct importer. No middleman connections. The foundation of our business since day one. For others, it's the uncompromising quality. From hand-selected diamonds to handcrafted designer rings. Only the best of the best. Some people put selection at the top of their list, as Diamonds Direct offers up to 30 times the options you expect from a typical jewelry retailer. For some, it's our luxurious showroom with diamond experts who genuinely care about your experience and happiness, and who are empowered to do whatever it takes for you. Others rave about Diamonds Direct's unmatched warranties and guarantees that include free service for life and an extraordinary 110% diamond upgrade promise. But you know the most often answer we get when asking what makes Diamonds Direct stand out? It's not one thing. It's everything. Diamonds Direct. Value, luxury, choices, and confidence. Get directions, hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the road. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329.
Traffic and weather. Let's take a look at the roads with Debbie Lazaga.
All right, northbound on 94 in Racine County, right about just north of Highway 20. You got the center lane blocked with some debris, so something to keep in mind through that. Southbound 43, a little bit heavy right out of the Capitol Drive area towards Keefe. Northbound's a lot heavier, though. You're seeing delays basically from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. And westbound 94 going to be slowing down from 20th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound 94, just a heads up. Remember, we have an accident on the ramp to Blue Mound Road from 94 eastbound. And that ramp right now is closed as they do the cleanup of this accident. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, scattered showers are possible. The low will be 47 degrees. Tuesday, sunny. The high will be 67. Wednesday, it'll be fair, mostly sunny. The high will be 72. Thursday, light rain possible with a high of 67. Friday, scattered showers are possible. The high will be 67 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, light rain, and it's about 69 degrees.
So there's quite a buzz at American Family Field over the weekend. This happens from time to time when teams that don't commonly come to Milwaukee, right? So the Yankees are one of those polarizing teams in sports. You either love them or you hate them. And there was a great combination of both at the ballpark over the weekend. Unfortunately, Julia, New York is a very good team. They took 2 of 3 against the Brewers. Thrilling win for the Brewers on Friday. And now you dismiss the Yankees. You welcome in the Tampa Bay Rays, and we welcome in Lane Grindle, who is at the ballpark getting ready for tonight's game. Hello, Lane.
Hey, Lane, can you hear us? I don't think we can hear
We'll
Lane.
work on our connection with Lane. I can hear the ballpark. I can definitely hear the ballpark, so
right.
I know something is going on. Maybe Lane's cooking some hot dogs or getting some of that Cedar Crest ice cream. But it was a crazy game over the weekend on Saturday, in which everything looked like it was going to be tight, a very close game, and then one kind of questionable call would have gotten the Brewers out of the inning, and then all of a sudden the Yankees scored 7 runs.
Hang on, Lane, can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you now. Yep.
Hey, there we go. Hey, Lane.
Yeah.
There we go.
You're just finishing up batting practice, right?
Yeah, I was finishing up batting practice. Today was my day to get some swings in, so.
Well, that's good.
A little sore, but, you know.
At the rate injuries are piling up, they might need you.
Oh, boy. Let's hope it doesn't get to that. That wouldn't be good for anybody.
Let's start with a bit of a status update. Is there a kind of a timetable on, I guess I look at Christian Yelich first and foremost, because he appears to be getting at least closer, stepping in the right direction.
Yeah, I think he's trending in a good direction. But look, backs always go slower than you want them to. That's the problem, right? And so he's starting to do a little bit more activity on the field, some running. He played catch a couple of days ago. So that's a good sign. I still don't think we're like inside of days at this point. I think we're probably looking at weeks before Yelich is back in there. I would think as well he's going to have to go get some at-bats somewhere, whether that's Appleton or Nashville when he does come back. So still going to be a little bit of time before Christian's back, because with that back issue, the one thing you don't want to do is rush it and have it get tweaked right away again, and then you're back to square one. I think the important thing is to make sure when you do bring him back that he is 100% good to go, because it's a long season and he's a really important part to this team. And they've really survived this stretch without him in very good fashion, which is a great sign, and it speaks to the depth of this team. And we know that depth has been tested mightily through the first month of the season.
Lane, I don't want to take anything away from the Yankees, because I do think they're one of the best, maybe 3 or 4 teams in all of baseball. But it felt like the series really could have gone the Brewers' way. I know the final scores of games on Saturday and Sunday may not indicate that, and it's probably an optimist point of view, but it felt like it was there for the taking. It got a little haywire with sort of a chaotic sequence that led to 7 runs for New York.
Yeah, I think you're right when you say that. I mean, Saturday was the Yankees flexing their muscles and having a really good day. I thought yesterday could have gone the other direction if a few things don't go the way that they win. I mean, that was a very consequential play in the 6th inning. I think a lot of people will see that different ways, but the most important thing is that Andy Fletcher, the crew chief, said afterwards they looked at the video and they felt they got it wrong after looking at the video. And I give them a lot of credit for coming out and saying that. I think that takes some guts to come out and say that. And it's a tough call because it's a judgment call in the moment. But it certainly had a big impact on that game when it was all said and done. There's no question about that. So I thought the Brewers should be really excited about what they've seen so far from Tobias Myers specifically. He pitched very well in Pittsburgh. I thought the way he attacked a really good Yankees lineup, it's a dangerous way to live. But you don't have a great way to live against that Yankees lineup. I mean, if you want to try to pitch backwards, that can really bite you too. So I thought his ability to compartmentalize who he was facing, be himself yesterday, and yes, he gave up 4 runs, but I thought he threw the ball better than that. He really made 2 mistakes in that game. I thought that was a silver lining from yesterday's game for sure for the Brewers. And look, these are games that happen. These are stretches that happen. It's only a 2-game stretch, by the way, as well. And every team in baseball, including the team that wins the World Series, is going to have some games like the last 2 days have been. Look for the Brewers to get up off the mat here in this series against the Rays and try to get this series and then set themselves up for a big one in the division against the Cubs this weekend.
Yeah, so you drop 2 or 3 against the Yankees. A lot of good players are just not available right now for a variety of reasons. And, oh, by the way, the Brewers are still a first-place team 27 games into the season. It's certainly not all doom and gloom. In fact, it's rather impressive that they're on top of this very competitive division. I know we're just about a month into the season, but with all the adversity, it's been an impressive start, I think, overall.
I totally agree. I think the thing that stands out to me about this group, this is a really simplistic way to look at it, but they're very young, as we know. I mean, this is one of the youngest teams in baseball. And the thing that I have been impressed with, and I think it's a capitalization on the youth and the youth being infectious with some of the veterans as well, is that I feel like this team really competes on every single pitch. And, again, that's a really simple way to look at it. But I think it's helped this team in a lot of close games, in games where they've been down and been able to at least put the tying run at the plate late. I think that is one of the reasons why it's a very competitive bunch that is in a good place with each other and loves playing the game together. I've always felt like that matters a lot in this game because you're at the ballpark together so much, and I think it's been one of the key ingredients to this Brewers' success over the last 7 or 8 years has been that fact that they like playing together, and now you have a really young team that's scrappy and has a lot of fight in them, and I think it's a good formula to continue to win and take it as a challenge when guys get hurt. Nobody wants the injuries that have piled up on the Brewers, but take it as, okay, we believe in the next guy up, and we think he can get the job done. And it's worked so far. There's no doubt about that.
All right, real quick, who's the leader in the clubhouse on the Cedar Crest ice cream crushing of the season? Which broadcaster is eating more?
That is a good question. I think I'm in good shape for sure, and I don't mean in good physical shape. I think I'm in good shape in that contest. A lot of Cedar Crest. It's just part of the routine here at the ballpark. So the other thing is, and we don't have this at the ballpark, but I could probably change that, is the Pine River cheese spread is that's the real deal too. I mean, that is really been a nice compliment to the Usingers. I mean, that is a trio. We say that on the air, and you probably don't realize that we mean it because we have a lot of that product at our homes and at the ballpark, and we use it. It's great.
Perfect way to kick off a nice homestand continuation against the Rays tonight. Lane Griddle on the broadcast of tonight's game. Thank you, Lane.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
You bet. Our coverage gets underway after the 6 o'clock news. Out with the Yankees, in with the Tampa Bay Rays. A first-place team leaves, a last-place team comes in. Still a good team. Don't be fooled by the record. It's 4:25 on WTMJ. We'll get you a market update in a moment.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. I love my dogs, Bella and Baxter, an important part of our family. They're kind of like kids sometimes, and like kids, they weren't always listening, but I've got it figured out now. Thanks to Matt and his teams at Sit Means Sit Dog Training, our dogs are better behaved. They don't bark as much. They just listen better. They're happy, confident, obedient. Our house is a better house. Sit Means Sit Dog Training turned it around for us. Let them do the same for you. You can start with a free consultation. The website is sitmeansitwaukesha.com. Sitmeansitwaukesha.com.
Here's to sweet summer days together with friends and family in Wisconsin. To discovering magic in every moment.
Hey, Mom, over here.
And to reconnecting through a world filled with wonder.
Wow.
Here's to supper club celebrations and dancing until the sun goes down. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Plan your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
So when our parents were moving from the farm to town when they retired, all these old pieces had to go somewhere because they were getting a smaller place. So we each got some furniture.
Ben and Arvid Huth from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
There was one piece that still had our grandmother's name on it. It was the delivery ticket, basically. It was on the back of the piece.
Written with lead pencil.
And instead of an address, it just said, her name, Boyd, Wisconsin. That was the delivery address.
Then that's all you needed for an address.
Yeah.
That was the piece of furniture that all 5 of us kids wanted. You know, of all the furniture that had grandma's name on it.
on it. Today, I tell people that ask me, like, okay, I bought this piece of heirloom furniture. Is there anything special I should do with it? Flip it over, turn it around, take a magic marker, and write on that thing your name, when you bought this, where you bought it from, why you bought it. That piece will be cherished in your family for centuries to come.
People want to be connected to their ancestors a little bit, and this is one way of doing that.
And the furniture we're building today, 300 years from now, somebody's going to be like, wow, that thing was well built for its time.
PennyMustard.com.
Sleep apnea is a serious condition. And the worst part about it is, because it affects you while you're sleeping, you don't know what this condition is doing to you.
And it was scary because I found out that I was waking up 145 times an hour. 145 times. I was scared. I wasn't getting the sleep I needed.
And that's the thing. Someone like John wakes up after thinking he's slept all night, and he's been feeling run down for years, and finally finds out something really is wrong. This is why, for us, solving sleep apnea problems is so gratifying, because we really are changing lives.
I've had more energy. I'm getting better sleep. I've been told from my wife I don't snore, but honestly, it changed my life.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. Solving your breathing triangle problems means a better quality of life, and you deserve that.
Go to AdventKnows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Time for a WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A good Monday here on the indices, with the Dow Jones finishing up 146 points at 38,386. The NASDAQ up today about 55.5 points at 15,983. S&P 500 also up 16 points to finish at 5116 and change. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com, click on the Get Started button today.
Suit up for the $800,000 Sports Car Series at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. April through May, score free play, cash, one of 4 new Toyota GR86s or a new Toyota Supra. Play with your club card to earn entries, 5 times the entries on drawing days, and when the Milwaukee Brewers play at home. Got what it takes? Slugger, only at Potawatomi. For more details, visit paysbig.com/sportscar. Must be 21 and a club member to play.
We find the best way to protect and uphold the reputation of our business is to hire good people and then take care of them. We really do love the people that work for us, and we care about what's in their best interest. And what that means to you is this: who do you really want on your job? Someone who's maybe underpaid or doesn't feel appreciated, might not have paid vacations or great work benefits? Our folks have all of these things and more. Vito and I make sure they feel appreciated, because happy people do happy work. There's a culture we're building here at Semper Fi that brings respect back to a very hard job. And that's why we know that our crews are going to do the kind of work that you expect. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:31. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story is standoff with police in Grafton.
I'm Greg Matzek, supporting mental health for our first responders.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we had an issue on 94 southbound right just north of Highway 20 in Racine County with a broken down vehicle that was stuck in traffic, or at least actually it was some debris that was stuck in traffic. Looks like they might have cleared it out of the way since everything seems to be moving along well. Crash on the ramp from Layton Avenue to 94 southbound, also going to be causing some issues. Northbound 43 backing up from about Kilbourne all the way up to Keefe. The southbound side slowing down right past Capitol Drive and then right through the Marquette interchange. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, scattered showers are possible. The low will be 47 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny. The high will be 67 degrees. The current temperature in Milwaukee is 69 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, your top story is in Grafton. A man in Grafton now in protective custody after a midday standoff with police there.
The incident beginning shortly before noon Monday with a 911 call for a man armed with a gun. That man threatening to harm both a family member and himself. Grafton police arrived and tried to contact him, but he did not respond. The Ozaukee County Special Response Team was called, and the man was taken into protective custody without any further trouble. He will receive a mental health evaluation at a hospital, and the Ozaukee County DA's office will decide on any criminal charges. Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, WTMJ News.
The incident also affecting pickup at local schools, but no lockdowns were needed.
No charges have been filed against a Kenosha teacher accused of grooming a middle school student. Police tell WTMJ third-party submitted screenshots from text and Snapchat show conversations between the K-Tech West Middle School teacher and a 14-year-old student. But while police say the chats resembled that of a grooming relationship, they did not amount to anything sexual in nature. A board meeting at the school to address the situation is planned for next week, Tuesday.
2 missing Milwaukee girls found. Milwaukee police say 11-year-old Chloe Therese Henderson and 12-year-old Olive Agee are in good condition. No word yet on where they were found.
Well, the mayor of West Dallas is urging drivers to slow down after he was hit by a car today.
Mayor Dan Devine is fine. He says he was walking the dog when he was hit while crossing the street this morning. The driver was turning right while looking left. Devine posting on Facebook he wasn't even knocked over, but he did suffer a bruised hip. The dog is okay. The mayor joked that while some people may dream about hitting him with a car, he's asking everyone to slow down and to keep an eye out for pedestrians, bikers, and children walking to and from school. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Multiple officers shot in North Carolina's biggest city. Breaking news.
The shooting in East Charlotte happened as officers from several agencies and members of the U.S. Marshals Task Force were attempting to serve an arrest warrant. Authorities say multiple officers were carrying out an investigation in the quiet residential area when a subject began firing at them. Several roads in the area were partially closed to traffic as ambulances rushed the victims to area hospitals. Police are telling people to stay inside their homes and avoid the area as the investigation continues. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Refusing to cover certain health care for transgender people with government-sponsored insurance is discriminatory. That's the ruling by a federal appeals court.
The case involved coverage of gender-affirming care by North Carolina State Employee Health Plan and the coverage of gender-affirming surgery by West Virginia Medicaid. Both states appealed separate lower court rulings that found the denial of gender-affirming care to be discriminatory and unconstitutional. Legal experts think the case will eventually end up before the U.S. Supreme Court. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
The Milwaukee Fire Department taking action to fight the mental battle after flames are put out.
The culmination of everything that we go through and the traumas that we see, sometimes the human brain has a hard time dealing with that. And we want to make sure that that's not going to be what keeps our people from being their best selves.
Fire Lieutenant Joseph Flick founded Ignite the Spirit in 2018, and now the mental health program is fully funded for their firefighters. He tells WTMJ,
the nice thing here is that there's no cap. If it's going to take a larger group of sessions to get this member to feeling 100%, we're willing to make that investment in each and every one of our firefighters.
From the fire station on James Lovell Street, Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
The partnership program starts May 1st.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. A rookie minicamp next up for the Green Bay Packers and their 11 draft picks. Green Bay also signing a number of undrafted rookie free agents, including UW lacrosse offensive lineman Mike Bertoya. The Bucs return home trailing the Pacers 3-1 in their best-of-7 playoff series. Game 5 scheduled for Tuesday night at 8:30 in Milwaukee. It's unclear if Giannis or Damian Lillard will be able to go. And the Brewers' run against AL East opponents continues tonight with the first of 3 against the Tampa Bay Rays. Coverage begins tonight following the 6 o'clock news.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:36.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Beautify your entertainment space with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hi, this is Gina Della from Pella. Turn your ordinary space into something extraordinary with brand new Pella windows. The luxurious look, sleek design, and custom colors available is guaranteed to give your home the extra pop to entertain and keep you comfortable. At Pella, we see windows differently. We have the highest rated energy efficient products and a complete range of durable, functional, and high quality products that bring out the best of your home. Plus, getting the perfect windows and doors for your home has never been easier. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months, or no down payment, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months if you book before April 30th. That's right, get 0% interest for up to 36 months, or no down payment, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months. If you book before April 30th, take ownership of your living space and make it a place worth living with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
So many counties in the Milwaukee area got an F for unhealthy air pollution. The American Lung Association's Will Barrett, he's a National Senior Director on Clean Air Advocacy, joins us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Will, thank you for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me on.
Awesome. So can you tell me, why did the lakeshore like Kenosha, Milwaukee, Ozaukee, Door County, why did we all get an F with our air pollution?
Well, one of the key things to note is that while there is an F grade in this year's report, it's actually improved quite a bit over the 25-year history of the State of the Air report. So we're not all the way there to getting to clean air for every day, but we've made tremendous progress. And, you know, part of the challenge is the ongoing increases in extreme heat and other factors related to climate change are making the job of cleaning our air more difficult.
So what do you do to make sure that it keeps going in the right direction here? What are some simple things, everyday things that folks can do?
Well, a lot of the ozone pollution, for example, comes from transportation sources. So anything we can do to reduce our own personal pollution is going to help. So carpools, combining trips, transit if it's available and accessible, those kind of things are really important. And then on top of that, looking into zero emission technologies, not just for passenger cars, but transit buses and heavier duty vehicles as well.
So when we talk about high ozone days, what's the cause of high ozone days?
Well, ozone is a colorless, odorless gas that forms on hot, sunny days. Essentially, tailpipe emissions and other pollutants are mixing in the atmosphere and turning into this sort of corrosive gas that can have the effect of a sunburn on the skin, but on your lungs and your lung tissue. So it's associated heavily with hot, sunny days, or sometimes called summertime smog is what ozone's referred to.
So if we don't take care of this, let's just say we just go as is, what could happen, Will, to our health?
Well, ozone causes a wide range of health consequences. It can be anything from sort of minor irritations and difficulty breathing to asthma attacks, heart attacks, and, you know, again, a wide range of impacts, and especially that's concerning for about 27,000 kids in the area with living with asthma. There's about 175,000 adults living with asthma in the region. And even one day of unhealthy air can set off health emergencies, so that it is a serious issue.
So there's high ozone days, pollution that we need to worry about. There's also researchers in your study saying climate change is making the job of cleaning up air more difficult. Can you describe why?
Sure, there are a few factors. So we talked about ozone having being formed on hot, sunny days. So to the extent we're seeing extreme heat events, those are the perfect conditions for ozone or smog to form. But there's also the hotter, drier conditions that are pushing more and more catastrophic wildfires that, you know, we've seen what happens when these fires get out of control and they blanket millions and millions of people with particle pollution or fine particles in the smoke. And that's really one of the key symptoms of climate change that's threatening health. And one of the reasons that a lot of the Midwest especially has seen in recent years spikes in particle pollution impacting local air quality.
So it's a fascinating topic, Will. I think we all got introduced to it last summer when we'd have these air quality days that would cancel activities, baseball games, soccer games, and practices, right? We all learned about the AQI and, what was acceptable and what was unacceptable. I don't know if that's, it forged in the minds of everybody, but it certainly was an eye-opener, I think, for so many last year, the things that you talk about in Research Daily.
That's right. We see it as a real wake-up call. There are alarm bells going off, however you want to put it, when you do have those days that are so unhealthy that, daily activities have to be canceled. We just have to remember that there are a lot of people who are vulnerable to the air pollution, challenges on a daily basis because of asthma or COPD or heart disease that are at significant risk even at lower levels. So again, while it's a major wake-up call, it is something that a lot of people experience and are at risk due to more frequently. But again, when we see those wildfire-filled skies or smoke-filled skies, it really is, it gives us pause and makes us really consider what we have to do to protect ourselves.
Last question here. So if there is a high pollution day, like a big warning about that, an ozone danger day, what should I do? Should I just stay inside, or am I, in all intents and purposes, not in a good spot anywhere?
Well, one of the key things is to reduce your exposure. So to the extent you can stay indoors and keep that unhealthy air from getting in, that's really important. There's also, tools through local agencies that can help identify when the pollution might be rising. Ozone or smog tends to get worse as the day goes on and those pollutants mix in the hot weather. So you basically can look at when the ozone, for example, or particle pollution is going to be projected to be higher and really take extra caution at that point, and extra caution for children or seniors or people with heart or lung conditions that make them more vulnerable.
Will Barrett, National Senior Director for Clean Air Advocacy for the American Lung Association, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, coming up next, Dustin Gotsky, the Bucks Chief of Sales and Marketing. He's going to join us, and we're going to talk about the do or die. There's still some tickets available for Game 5. We'll talk to him coming up.
Hot dog, get your hot dogs here. Hot and fresh hot dogs.
Hot diggity dog, it's baseball season. Wisconsin's Afternoon News has partnered up with Vienna Beef to bring you Brewers Ticket Tuesday.
Tune in every Tuesday during the 3 o'clock hour for your chance to win a pair of tickets for an upcoming Tuesday home game for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Nothing says summer like a hot dog in baseball, and we've got both on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
On the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for Badger Fence. If you listen to my show, you heard me talk about the beautiful new cedar fence I had installed at my home a couple years ago. Well, the company I trusted with that job is Badger Fence. They've been installing high-quality, durable fences in the metro Milwaukee area since 1945. They're a proud member of the Better Business Bureau with an A-plus rating. If privacy, security, and a wide choice of fence styles are top of mind when choosing a fence for your property, then Badger Fence is the right company. They're licensed, bonded, insured, and use the best materials in the industry. With more than 75 years of experience, Badger Fence knows that premium fence materials, design options, and affordability all play an important role in your overall satisfaction with your fencing project. So whether you want wood, which is what we chose, ornamental, chain link, or even PVC, they can help you choose the right materials for your fence project. And when it comes to quality, they are unmatched in the industry. We love our new wood fence, and when my wife Kathy and I were shopping around for fence companies, we found the right match with Badger Fence. To set up an appointment to talk with Badger Fence about your project, go to badgerfence.com. Tell them Scafidi from WTMJ sent you.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
One of the best things about being in business for 25 years is having clients recommend AccuNet to their now adult children for help buying their first homes. That's how I connected with Dan and Allison, and let me tell you, they were fast learners. They quickly embraced our most powerful tool for winning offers, Appraisal Wiggle Room. Their first offer was $15,000 over asking and included a provision which AccuNet guaranteed they could afford to make, that they would still pay the higher offer price even if the appraised value came in up to $15,000 short. The result? Accepted offer versus several others on the very first try. And by the way, if the appraisal had come in $15,000 short, which it did not, Dan and Allison would have needed exactly $0 extra dollars at the closing table. If you think all mortgage lenders are the same, think again. Go with a multi-generation mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look at the roads with Debbie Lazaga.
All right, Julia, we've got an issue coming out of the Marquette on westbound 94, right about just past 20th Street. We've got a crash up against the left shoulder, or just on the left shoulder, up against the median wall there. So watch for those backups. They're stretching all the way back through the Marquette anyways, and it's going to stay slow all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Once you get past that, you should be good to go. We've also got a crash on the ramp from Layton Avenue to southbound 94, just south of the Mitchell interchange. Westbound 894 is backed up, but that's the construction delays out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to just past 68th Street. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, there's going to be some scattered showers possible. The low will be 47. Tomorrow, really sunny. The high will be 67. Wednesday, mostly sunny, 72. Thursday, light rain. The high will be 67 degrees. And Friday, scattered showers are possible with a high of 67 degrees. Right now, it's 69 degrees in Milwaukee.
Craig and Julia with you. It's Wisconsin's Afternoon News on a Monday. John will be back sometime next week. And hopefully the Bucks are still playing at this point. They are back after losing back-to-back games against the Pacers. But another home game is on the horizon. Chance to steady the ship here on Tuesday night. It's a late start, 8:30, the tip time at Fiserv Forum. Our coverage will get underway at 8 o'clock. And big doings anytime the Bucks are in playoff mode at Fiserv Forum. For more, we welcome in Dustin Godsey, Bucks Chief of Sales and Chief Marketing Officer. Hello, Dustin.
Greg, how are you?
You're doing well. Time to rally the troops, right? Fiserv turned out, no doubt, on games 1 and 2. Game 1, of course, a win. And your time to prepare now for Game 5. So what can fans expect who are heading down to Fiserv tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it has been, incredible. Both buildings, the playoff atmosphere has been amazing. The first two games here at Fiserv Forum, it was loud and as crazy as we've seen throughout these, 5 years in the building of playoff crowds. It was really raucous. So we're expecting, this is the time the team hasn't given up and isn't going to back down as we saw, in these last two games in Indiana. And, we expect to see fans are going to be in that same spirit, like you mentioned, with a late start and some time to come down to Deer District beforehand, grab some dinner, get excited and come in and hopefully push this series to a sixth game in Indiana.
Yes, please. This is win or go home or stay home, huh? So let's take a look at this. Some tickets are still available for Game 5, I hear.
Yeah, we have tickets still available. We will expect this game to sell out like the first two did, and as we have throughout the regular season. But still an opportunity for fans if they want to go to Bucks.com or through the Bucks mobile app, be able to find some tickets to pick up and still be a part of that crowd tomorrow night.
And I hear there's a little gift that everybody's going to have on their chairs when they come in.
Yeah, so, yep, everybody coming in will have, Damian Lillard really talked about seeing everybody with their rally towels swinging and everything as he came out to the court. So we'll be back out with rally towels for all the fans on their seats. This one is actually really cool in that it's provided by our sustainability partner at Johnson Controls, who helped us source these completely 100% recycled from plastic bottle rally towels. So not only is it great for fans to be able to be out there and get the playoff atmosphere going, but sustainable and ecological as well.
All right, so I take umbrage with Tyrese Halliburton, the Oshkosh native, saying, well, wasn't that loud at Fiserv Forum. right? You have a major role in kind of the mood of the arena, Dustin. I would take offense to that. I would also disagree with that wholeheartedly. Man, the arena was rocking.
Yes.
It was rocking, and I will disagree with what he was saying. But look, I think Tyrese knew that he was getting ready to go back to Indiana, and he was trying to rally his crowd up to get out there and show it. You can pick at the words he said, but I think it was in the spirit of trying to get his fans ready to match or be up there with what we had. But it was absolutely incredible atmosphere in both the games here in Game 1 and Game 2, and we look forward to fans kind of meeting that challenge and coming out and making Game 5 even louder.
Well, and tomorrow's a perfect day, too. If I'm looking at the forecast here, 67, brilliant sun with a later game. Like, why not just get off work, go hang out? Even if you can't get into the arena, just hang out in the Deer District, right? We know what kind of energy that whole area brings. And that's part of your challenge, too, right? You're entertaining the masses. Anybody coming into that area, you want to have a little something for.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great atmosphere. We've had incredible weather here so far for all of these home games, and again, tomorrow looks great. And to your point, no point in even heading back home after work. Just come down and be a part of the atmosphere that's going on. And if you don't have a ticket to the game, there's plenty of screens from the beer garden to Mecca to all the other bars and restaurants in the district.
And Dustin, how does the back office feel? Are there a lot of nerves right now going into tomorrow?
Playoffs is always a roller coaster. We've gone from, I think I saw somebody say, in the playoffs this time of year, you win a game, you feel like you can't be beaten. You lose a game, and you feel like you're never going to win again. So it's just that time of year for us. So, but we're optimistic, and at this point, we know we have to win tomorrow, and then we see what goes from there.
So, Dustin, how do you prepare for the potential of a Game 7? Right? I mean, if they win tomorrow, the idea that a Game 7 could be in Milwaukee later this week is certainly on the table. How do you do that? Because your turnaround time would be pretty quick if the Bucks were also to win Game 6.
Yeah, no, it's this, especially as we get into the end of the first round and into later rounds, you start really playing kind of every other day and going through. So we'll be prepared for a Game 7 on Saturday. So yeah, it'll be, if we win tomorrow night, win Thursday, it'd be right back here Saturday. And we've got our rally towel designs already. We've got everything kind of in the works, and it's just getting ready to hit print and push send on everything when we know it's time to go.
Looking forward to it. Dustin Godsey, the Bucks Chief Marketing Officer. See you tomorrow, Dustin. Thanks so much for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You bet. 4:54 in WTMJ. Giannis has not yet been ruled out for tomorrow's game, and it's kind of a day-to-day thing with him.
What do you think?
My gut feeling says he will do everything he possibly can to be on the floor. I just think that's how Giannis is built. It does appear, and this is kind of reading between the lines on what I'm seeing here, but it does appear Giannis is closer to returning to the floor than Damian Lillard. That was another concern. He was in a walking boot leaving the arena last night.
Not the boot.
Now, that's the thing sometimes you do. It's sort of an overcautious approach when you have an Achilles injury or anything below the knee. So I'm sure the Bucks are trying to play it very careful with him in that if they do advance, he'd be able to return to the floor. But both injuries are kind of that nagging variety. You've got an Achilles injury with Dame. You've got a calf injury with Giannis. If you pop that thing, you really've got a big problem.
Yeah.
But you obviously need Giannis if you want to win this series. So that's kind of the middle of the ground the Bucks are in right now. It's just you'd never want to be unhealthy in the postseason.
And you think that if Giannis is not playing tomorrow,
I don't think they can win the series without Giannis.
Ugh.
They've proved they can win a game without Giannis and might be able to win another game without Giannis, but I don't think they can win the series without their best player.
Oh, boy. 4:55 on WTMJ. We'll get to your top stories, and Debbie will get you home.
2 new vendors are coming to the Mequon Public Market. Thai City Cuisine is preparing to take over the former Falafel Guy's space, and Lakeside Cookie Company will occupy the footprint of a former floral shop. The CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee recently resigned, and the organization's former CEO is returning as the organization's interim leader. Kathy Thornton Bias said she resigned as she looks to step back from the work world and consider new opportunities. Third Space Brewing is nearing completion of its third location called Innovation Brew House. The new taproom in Menominee Falls will complement its existing taproom tap room in Menominee Valley, and a seasonal beer garden in Elm Grove. I'm Teddy Nykel with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Sorry about that, big voice guy. This report is sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
Milwaukee's finest hotel, the Pfister Hotel, is continuing with renovations to enhance its already stellar reputation. Phase 2 of the renovations is in progress to transform the hotel's historic rooms, with many new rooms available now for reservations. Phase 3 will focus on the hotel's public spaces, set to be completed this summer. The renovations will blend exceptional comfort with cutting-edge technology, reinforcing the hotel's approachable sophistication. The Pfister is ready to welcome you for your next visit. Start planning your stay today at thepfisterhotel.com.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's promo code GIFT.
Okay, I'm ready to record my jewelry store's new radio spot. I got a great script that really goes after Diamonds Direct and how they're nothing special and how we can match their price. Great stuff.
Oh, great. We have this new technology that bleeps out any false claims, so it saves us time with editing. So you can start anytime.
Okay, here goes. When you visit our jewelry store, we'll guarantee direct. Our diamonds come straight. We have cutters. And, hey, what the?
The hard truth is that other jewelry stores simply can't do what Diamonds Direct can. Diamonds Direct has special relationship with De Beers, international connections, and virtually unlimited buying power. The result is true direct importer pricing, exceptional quality, and up to 30 times the diamond selection you find at other stores.
I can't believe this thing won't let me say.
Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get more truth at diamondsdirect.com.
Since 1955, Geist Garage Doors has been the trusted authority in Wisconsin. Hey, it's Greg Matzik. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Give my friends at Geist a call. Doors and openers for every budget are available, and they'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. Check out geistdoors.com or call 262-784-4250. Or do what I did. Check out their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors, openers, and their custom design room. Wherever you are in southeast Wisconsin, don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't think twice. Call Dice.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Burghardt.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Another day, another AL East team for the Brewers to take down.
And he'll throw him a lot. This is driven out to left center field. Racing back is Sawinski. He will look up and watch it leave. William Contreras.
The Rays beam into American Family Field with coverage of the game beginning tonight at 6:05 on your home of the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm Julia Fellow. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News for Monday, April 29th. Your top story, several officers dead in North Carolina.
I'm Greg Matzik, a Bucks legend helping fight drug addiction.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We still have the left shoulder blocked on westbound 94 just as you're coming out of the Marquette interchange, just west of 20th Street. So heads up with that. It's a crash, and they're dealing with it right now. It is going to stay heavy all the way out past the stadium interchange. 41 southbound slowing down from Appleton Avenue all the way down to about Burleigh. Northbound 43 backing up from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way to about Keith. Remember that we do have that one accident on the ramp from Layton Avenue to 94 southbound, just south of the Mitchell interchange. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, the clouds decrease. There might be some scattered showers later. The low will be 47 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny. The high will be 67 degrees. The current temperature in Milwaukee is 69 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, breaking news, several law enforcement officials are dead after a shooting in North Carolina's biggest city. CBS Jim Kursula.
At least 3 law enforcement officers were shot and killed as they tried to serve an arrest warrant at a house on the east side of Charlotte. Several others were wounded. A suspect was found dead inside the house. Those shot include members of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department, as well as the U.S. Marshals Task Force.
2 other people were found in the home and are being questioned by police right now.
Another pedestrian death in the city of Milwaukee. A 65-year-old was trying to cross the street near 60th and Marion last Friday night, then was hit by a car traveling on 60th. The pedestrian was taken to the hospital but died today from injuries. The 25-year-old driver stayed on the scene, then was arrested. Charges are pending.
Students from universities around the world join in protesting against the war in Gaza.
Universities around the world are joining in to protest against the ongoing war in Gaza. In Canada, a joint McGill Concordia encampment has been set up on McGill's campus. In the UK, the University College of London, Oxford University, and Warwick University, among others, are also joining in. Protests have also popped up at Sciences Po and the Sorbonne in Paris, at La Sapienza in Italy, and as far as Melbourne University in Australia. Inez de la Quatera, ABC News, Paris.
College student protests are also reaching the city of Milwaukee.
Tents are up at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee to protest the war in Gaza. Charlene Sevier held a sign saying education is a right.
People need to stop killing each other. I don't think there's any value in that.
Jim Carpenter said he feels betrayed by his party.
I'm outraged as a Democrat that the majority of Democrats voted to give Israel more military aid.
For activist Sami Assaid, it's not Israeli versus Palestinian.
This is political and this is related to money. This is not related to religion at all.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Negotiators in Cairo try to work out a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. Israel's foreign minister said his country would delay a planned offensive in exchange for the release of at least some of the hostages held since last October's attack.
The White House says there's been new progress in the talks to reach a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. But Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre wouldn't get into specifics or even characterize the proposal, but said the onus is on Hamas.
There is a deal on the table, and they need to take it. We believe that all efforts need to be brought to bear to convince Hamas to accept the proposal immediately.
Jean-Pierre said the president will speak with the leaders of Qatar and Egypt on this today. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
The Biden administration also wrapped up its investigation into allegations that Israeli security forces violated the human rights of Palestinians, and that while violations were found, all of these incidents happened before October 7th and none took place in Gaza.
Milwaukee Bucks legend Marcus Johnson is teaming up with Serenity Inns to help fight the city's opioid epidemic. He tells Wisconsin's Midday News why the struggle hits close to home.
The effort is personal for Marcus Johnson.
Hurt my neck, pretty much ended my career in 1986. I had a son that died in a drowning accident about 5 months later. And I just never dealt with those two issues.
Instead, he turned to drugs and alcohol.
And so that 90s decade is just a blur.
In 2002, Johnson decided it was time to get sober.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired and decided to do something about it.
Now, 22 years clean, he understands the struggles of addiction and the importance of support around you.
I've been blessed to live 2 lifestyles in one lifetime, and we want to give that opportunity to the men at Serenity Inn to try and help them change and turn their lives around also.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Coming up, from down under to up in space.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 5:05.
Sponsored by Grandview Homes, the name you know, the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
Everything they say in their ads is true and then some. Very fair price, no real estate agent fees or closing costs. They even switched the utilities out of your name.
Within weeks, we had closed and couldn't be happier.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
Making a move from the home you have loved and cherished for so many years can not only be a challenge for you, but can also be stressful for the entire family. This is Jean Nemovitz from Bruce's team. Let us help you start the conversation, so when the time is right, we can make the process simple and easy, just as we've done for thousands of families. Let us take you from overwhelmed to I can do this. Call 262-242-6177 or visit brucesteam.com.
Greg Matzik here for Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac. Holiday first opened its doors to Wisconsin drivers in 1959 and began their partnership with Mazda in 1978. Well, a whole lot has changed since then, but their decades-long tradition of delighting drivers proudly lives on. Connect with Holiday and join the celebration during their 65th anniversary sales event. Get more Mazda for your money, more for your trade, and score enticing offers like finance rates as low as 0% on all-wheel drive favorites, including the Mazda CX-30 and off-road ready Mazda CX-50 turbo models. Be ready for driving season and experience Team Holiday's hospitality, genuine guest care, and simplified buying approach. It's the stuff that makes loyal fans of drivers from all over the Badger State fans like me. I know from experience you'll be in terrific hands with Wisconsin's #1 Mazda dealer on your side. Treat yourself to a test drive. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Mazda in Fond du Lac and at holidaymazda.com. It's worth the trip. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 5:07.
An Australian woman is on her way to becoming the first female Aussie space astronaut.
Catherine Bennell-Pegg has already put in the hard work with grueling challenges.
To get here has been a long road.
She carried out more than a year's worth of training in Germany with the European Space Agency.
To learn to be, scientist, to be an engineer, to be a medical doctor, to be an operator, learning how to spacewalk and, operate the robotic arm of the station.
On 9TV Australia, now she waits for word from the Australian Space Agency on a trip into space. Scott Mayman for CBS News, Canberra, Australia.
Love the accents. Bennell-Pegg will be the first Australian citizen eligible to travel into space.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Brewers and Rays tonight from American Family Field. Milwaukee hanging on to first place in the NL Central by a half game over the Cubs. Coverage of tonight's game gets underway at 6:05 on WTMJ. And the Packers begin rookie minicamp next week. 11 draft selections over the weekend and a crop of undrafted rookie free agents, including UW La Crosse offensive lineman Mike Bertoya. And the Bucs return home, trailing the Pacers 3-1 in their best-of-7 playoff series. Game 5 tomorrow night at Fiserv Forum, an 8:30 tip.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:08.
Hey, John Mercure here for Floor Coverings International. They just did the flooring in our house, and it is stunning. Carpet, luxury vinyl plank, in and out quickly. They rolled up with that mobile flooring showroom. Incredible. Came in, walked us through everything. The installation was quick and easy, and it is absolutely gorgeous. FCI, the stars of flooring. Each Floor Covering International business is independently owned and operated. They are the real deal. Go to FCIFloors.com for a free consultation. They'll transform your home. FCIFloors.com.
Spring fishing is finally here, and Fleet Farm has everything you need to reel in more fish this year. Upgrade your gear with the best brands like Rapala, Berkeley, and St. Croix. Find exclusive flicker sheds you won't find anywhere else, starting at $12.99. Get rod and reel combos starting at only $24.99. And shop our wide selection of fishing line that starts at just $4.99. Land top fishing gear and everything else you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com. There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Julia Fellow.
Monday edition of Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ. Greg in for John, Julia in for Julia.
Yep.
Sam Budson producing the program, and Debbie's got our ride home. So a few big things happened over the weekend. And I must admit, just the rhythms of the weekend sort of took me away from the NFL draft. But one of the things that I enjoy about the NFL draft, number one, just sort of seeing what kind of spectacle it is and now translating that in my mind to what's going to be in Green Bay next year. It's going to be crazy.
Amazing.
I mean, it was on 4 networks. You couldn't get away from it. And, I mean, it looked like a 3-day rock concert. There's so many people who make the draft a thing, and all those people who do will likely be looking at Green Bay next year, which I think is great. Now, the other interesting thing is to find the stories behind the stories. So the Packers selected 11 players over the weekend. And you start to dig in deeper on who these players are. And it's very easy to look and say, well, this guy's an offensive lineman. He played at Arizona. This guy was a safety. He played at Georgia. Oh, that's fine. You can read the same thing me. But here's the curious story of Jacob Monk. He was selected in the 5th round out of Duke University. He's an offensive lineman. We spoke with Jason Wilde earlier today on Wisconsin's Midday News because he likes to hunt for these interesting stories as well. listen to the book on Monk, a very talented player with a very peculiar allergy.
My guy is Jacob Monk, who is the offensive lineman from Duke. Now, the big story that came out about him, which I don't know if you guys caught it because I know you had a lot going on this weekend, but he's allergic to cold water. Before his first college game at Duke, they were playing at Alabama, and after practice one day, he got in the cold tub, and he had an allergic reaction to the cold water and broke out in hives, and he could never use a cold tub again. And so we, of course, Bill Huber from Sports Illustrated was the one that first unearthed that tidbit, and he asked Jacob about it in our conference call with him. And Jacob, said, here's what happened. And it's like, I'm allergic to cold water. And look, he's a really interesting guy beyond that. His family's really interesting. He's got an older brother who has Down syndrome and autism, and he's really been this inspiration to Jacob. So I find that more interesting, but this is really quirky. And so the question we all had is, wait a minute now, you got picked by the Packers. Like, can you play in snow, or are you going to break out in hives? These are things that are really, this is the kind of hard-hitting journalism that I perform in situations like this. And he said he can play in snow, he can play in cold weather. It's just the idea of, immersing himself. So I don't know if he goes swimming, he has to make sure that it's a certain temperature. But that was the big talk about Jacob Monk, is that he's allergic to cold water. And, of course, John Eric Sullivan, who's kind of Brian Gutekunst's number 2 man, the vice president of player personnel, said, I think we know about it. We're not concerned about it. We just can't let him go ice fishing.
Allergic to cold water. So sure enough, Julia, I went to the old internet because nothing isn't true on the internet.
I just did too. Did you look at the National Organization for Rare Disorders?
Yes, it's called cold urticaria. Urticaria. All right, I've never seen the word, but it is an abnormal reaction to cold, which may, for instance, occur after exposure to cold weather or swimming in a cold pool, where the skin turns red and it develops welts and itching. I'm guessing this is along the lines of what one of the newest members of the Packers has been through. It's wild.
It says accompanied by anxiety. So maybe he's just so worked up that he was cold. Now, woo! You better be ready for the frozen tundra, man.
Now, I have been in a cold tub myself, and I didn't have an allergic reaction, but I wanted to be out after about 4 seconds. Like, that is not a fun trip. To hop into the cold pool, it has great health benefits, and I understand why athletes do it. That's just not for me. And apparently it's not for Monk either.
Oh, my goodness. All right, well, from dipping into the cold to smelling some really smelly flowers. We'll talk about that coming up.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Carbless Ready-to-Drink Cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
So how are your plans coming? Hi, all. Debbie Lazaga here for Comfort Awnings, and I know that things take time, researching things out like for a vacation or even a renovation of your house. You want to know what you're doing is everything's going to be all right and everything works out well. If you're thinking about fixing up your outdoor living space, may I suggest giving Comfort Awnings a call. I did so last year, and now I have a wonderful retractable awning installed that expands my living space, making a lovely place to sit and relax or have friends over for cookouts and get-togethers. Comfort Awnings, located in Burlington, covers all of southeast Wisconsin and northern Illinois, and they can come out to your home, take measurements, and get an awesome retractable awning installed just in time for cookout season. They've always got awesome specials going on, so give them a call at 414-AWNINGS for a free estimate or visit comfortawnings.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Trees on the Move and Abby Windows. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com.
How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Abby window.
Do you know that we have over 8 different ways to install a replacement window? Most companies only have one. Not all homes are built the same, look the same, or even have the same old windows to remove. So how can you only have one way to install them? The answer is simple. It's quick and easy. Well, that's not us, and it will never be us. You can have peace of mind that the install we recommend is the one that will last a lifetime. If you want your windows installed only once and done right the first time, then call Abby today. And if somebody asks you if you know a guy in the business, you can say no, but I know a girl.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
When was the last time you had a second opinion on your retirement plan? If you have $750,000 or more, schedule your retirement review with one of our fiduciary advisors at thekowalway.com.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look outside with Debbie Lazaga.
Well, we got some delays for sure. Southbound on 43 is actually, oh, cool. Not one of the places. Hey, all right. Northbound, though, is going to be backed up from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up past Keith. Westbound 94, watch out, though. We do still have the left shoulder blocked with a crash just as you're getting out of the Marquette interchange, but it does stay heavy all the way past Mitchell Boulevard. Westbound 894, heavy through from the Mitchell interchange all the way to 68th Street. That's that construction delay there. And southbound 41, just south of Appleton Avenue, you're going to find yourself riding the brakes just a bit all the way down to about Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, scattered showers are possible. The low will be 47. Tuesday, tomorrow, sunny. The high will be 67 degrees. Wednesday will be mostly sunny with a high of 72. Thursday, light rain is possible with a high of 67. And Friday, scattered showers are possible with a high of 67 degrees. All right, so if you text WATCH to our talk and text line 855-616-1620, you will see the look on visitors' faces who got a whiff of the voodoo lily that is in bloom right now at the Mitchell Park Domes. It's a cousin of the corpse flower. Horticulturalist Amanda Garco shares what it smells like. Take a listen.
It smells like rotting flesh, basically. It smells like a dead animal. And the reason it smells that way is to attract its pollinator, which are carrion flies. It has little tiny flowers within the bloom, and those flies will come in and pollinate. They're just attracted to that rotting flesh kind of smell. So it's pretty gross, but it's definitely interesting.
You want to smell it, Greg?
Well, why do we do this? I don't get it. Like, the domes, I understand, like, they need people. I got married at the domes. I would love to see the domes live on in existence. But I feel like they're now hunting for these bizarre, and it fits with what they do, but hunting for these really bizarre species of plants and flowers that people can come smell, and they smell awful. Like that's a draw somehow.
Okay, so take a listen to this. This is why she goes wild over these flowers. Take a listen.
You know, you see kind of the typical roses and daisies and, violas and stuff like that around Wisconsin all the time. But to see something like this, especially in the Milwaukee area, it's really, really unique. It's a really cool experience.
Okay, so the smell, to make you feel better, Greg, went away yesterday. So now you can still see it on display. It is bloomed. The corpse flower, its cousin, blooms once every 7 years. This one, once a year. And if you're trying to attract flies, what are you going to smell like, Greg? Daisies?
I guess, right? I mean, so it's like a scratch and sniff sticker. Just after time, the more you scratch it, it kind of goes away.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question.
That does happen, yeah.
Just hold on to your nose. It's 5:20 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Guthrie and Fry protects the water in my house. Guthrie and Fry has provided expert advice, quality service, and reliable water since 1974. Owners Sue and Rob are well known and very generous in the local community for supporting great causes that change lives. We've got their water softener. We've got their reverse osmosis system. Our water is crisp, clean, and clear. GFwater.com. It's Guthrie and Fry.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
Your ticket to State Fair Fun is just $13. This unbeatable price ends April 30th. Don't let summer vibes pass you by. Get your tickets now at wistatefair.com. It's time to feel good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, August 1st through the 11th.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Catch my full conversation with Dr. Mike Nolte coming up on this weekend Sunday Sip, 9:20 a.m. Sunday morning on WTMJ.
Generac. Hi, this is Steve from Mr. Holland's Home Services. The powers that be claim that you need to hear that word 3 times in 60 seconds to get you interested in a brand new whole house backup generator. What we really should be saying is lightning, 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 because all it takes is an unwanted and untimely power outage to spark your interest in a backup generator. Mr. Holland's crew can hardwire your whole house generator directly into your home's electrical system. So when the power peters out, your charge is still churning and the lights are still burning. And with up to 24 months interest-free financing with approved credit, the cost isn't concerning. Call Mr. Holland's Home Services to schedule the installation of your brand new backup generator. 866-992-1717. Or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If you need more power, we can help.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
One of the best things about being in business for 25 years is having clients recommend AccuNet to their now adult children for help buying their first homes. That's how I connected with Dan and Allison, and let me tell you, they were fast learners. They quickly embraced our most powerful tool for winning offers, Appraisal Wiggle Room. Their first offer was $15,000 over asking and included a provision which AccuNet guaranteed they could afford to make, that they would still pay the higher offer price even if the appraised value came in up to $15,000 short. The result? Accepted offer versus several others on the very first try. And by the way, if the appraisal had come in $15,000 short, which it did not, Dan and Allison would have needed exactly $0 extra at the closing table. If you think all mortgage lenders are the same, think again. Go with a multi-generation mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. Click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
523, we're so happy you're with us. There's something called Becca's Closet. It's really special. It helps a lot of young ladies who want to go to prom be able to afford a dress. They get one for free. It's so nice. The average price right now, it's about $350 to $500 and going up. We have Becca's Closet, Kathy Pohl, co-coordinator. Her other co-coordinator is Cindy. Kathy, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
Yes. How is it going? It's underway right now. Where are you? Tell me everything.
Well, I'm sitting at the front door of our high school here in Beloit, and we have to let people in because, of course, the doors are locked after a certain time. We actually just closed our closet a little early because we were kind of slow tonight. We had a couple girls come through, but they got dresses. So that was nice. Awesome.
What's it like when you're able to, pass along a gently used dress to a young girl who's going to, make a memory that she'll never forget?
Well, this will probably sound kind of silly, but it's magical. It really truthfully is for the girls. Some of the girls are looking for dresses to fit a certain theme for their prom. It might be the Roaring Twenties, or it might be the red carpet, and they're looking for special dresses that fit those themes. And when we find them for them, it's just like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing that ever happened. And again, girls that can't afford to buy $300, $400, $500 dresses get beautiful dresses here for free. It doesn't cost a penny.
So where did this all start, and how did it get to Wisconsin?
Oh, well, actually, Becca's Closet is a national organization, and we are just one of many chapters in the United States. It was founded by parents whose daughter was killed in a car accident. When she was a freshman in high school, and her name was Rebecca Kurtman. She had a prom dress drive at her high school. And then she was killed in an auto accident in 2003 at the age of 16. And so her family and friends continued her mission by forming a National Becca's Closet program in her honor.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so that's why it's Becca's Closet, because her name was Rebecca.
So if someone wants to help out and help with your next drive, how do we donate? How do we get our dresses to you? I have like 5.
Oh, well, we have many means of getting them. You can bring them to the high school here in Beloit. You can mail them to the high school in Beloit. And I have met people maybe like halfway, depending on where they live. If you live in Milwaukee, I drive halfway, the person drives halfway, and we make an exchange in the parking lot of McDonald's or something like that. So there's lots of different ways, and we work really hard to be able to make it easy for the people that are donating their dresses to us.
Kathy Pohl, I really appreciate your time with Becca's Closet. And you also have a Facebook page that we will put online. And also, you can go to beccascloset.org, click on Wisconsin, and you can go straight to getting a hold of Kathy Pohl or her co-coordinator, Cindy. Kathy, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thanks for having us.
Of course.
I look forward to maybe meeting you halfway.
I love it. I love it. Awesome. 5:28 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. We'll be right back.
Hey, Mother's Day is May 12th. Don't forget your mom. John Mercure from WTMJ here. Take your mother and grandmother to the brunch buffet at the Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford. I love this. Locally family-owned for over 46 years. One of my favorite places. It's so fun. And it's the most generous and affordable Mother's Day brunch. It's everything Mom loves for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All you can eat with a huge dessert table and just $24.99. Kids and grandkids under 3, they eat for free. Your mom can relax with a Bloody Mary, a mimosa, or maybe a glass of nice wine on her special day, and no cooking, no cleaning. The kids can safely play in that world-class game room quietly tucked away from the dining area while you all finish up your brunch. The Mine Shaft is very family-friendly. You will not spend a lot of money on your Mother's Day brunch, but it'll sure seem like it at the Mine Shaft. It's great food, great service. Tables fill quickly. Call and reserve today. Visit MineShaftRestaurant.com. In beautiful downtown Hartford, it's the amazing Mine Shaft.
There are approximately 678,000 current or former employees, retirees, and beneficiaries of the Wisconsin Retirement System, covering state and local government employees, including local police, firefighters, and publicly employed teachers. Join Annex Wealth Management and WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for a special webinar, Understand Your WRS Potential, Tuesday, April 30th, 4 p.m. What does your most recent statement mean? What might you be missing? This free webinar is designed to answer your questions. Register at annexwealth.com/events.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
If you could spend 1 month anywhere, where would you go?
Easy. I'd go to bed. Specifically, a new Tempur-Pedic from Hasselus Mattress.
Why?
Because I can take 60 months to pay for it. Through Monday, get 60 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic mattresses, plus a $300 MasterCard gift card.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
Searching for a travel agent to book a month-long vacation at Hasselus Mattress.
Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
Traffic sponsored by Sendix Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926.
Grilling just got tastier this week at Sendix. Natural USDA Prime Black Angus top sirloin steaks are just $7.99 per pound. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story, a good ending for a Grafton standoff.
I'm Greg Matzik. Improved care for those with dementia.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Northbound on 43, slowing down from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keith. Westbound 94 is going to be slow out of the Marquette interchange to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side from 84th Street to about Hawley Road. And 894, we're dealing with delays from the Mitchell interchange all the way out past 68th Street with that construction zone delay. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Decreasing clouds tonight, a low of 46 degrees. Tuesday, pick day of the week, mostly sunny. A chance of storms at night, but a sunny day by and large with a high of 68. Chance for rain continues into Wednesday with a high of 70 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a man in Grafton is now in protective custody after a midday standoff with police.
The incident beginning shortly before noon Monday with a 911 call for a man armed with a gun. That man threatening to harm both a family member and himself. Grafton police arrived and tried to contact him, but he did not respond. The Ozaukee County Special Response Team was called, and the man was taken into protective custody without any further trouble. He will receive a mental health evaluation at a hospital, and the Ozaukee County DA's office will decide on any criminal charges. Wyatt Barmar-Pooley, WTMJ News.
The incident also affected pickup at schools, but no lockdowns were needed.
Tent encampments popping up on UW campuses as students protest the war in Gaza.
We're here to demand justice and freedom for our Palestinian brothers and sisters.
Hundreds of students and citizens gathered at UW Milwaukee to demand the university cut any and all ties to Israel, release a statement denouncing the war, among other demands. Until that happens, they say tents will remain on campus. This as students are getting ready for their final exams. Activist Samia said,
they need to understand that there are more important things, and we need to make them uncomfortable. They should be uncomfortable at the fact that our university is directly aiding a genocide.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
No charges have been filed against a Kenosha teacher accused of grooming a 14-year-old middle school student.
Kenosha police tell WTMJ the student's mother submitted screenshots from text and Snapchat conversations between the student and the K-Tech West Middle School teacher, which, while police say resembled that of a grooming relationship, did not amount to anything sexual in nature. While no charges have been filed against the teacher, the case has been referred to the district attorney's office for further review. A board meeting at the school to address the situation is planned for next week, Tuesday. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Well, West Dallas Mayor Dan Devine is asking drivers to slow down after he was hit by a car while walking his dog this morning. Devine posted on Facebook that the driver was looking left while turning right, bumping him at a crosswalk. Devine suffered a bruised hip. He's doing okay. The dog is okay, too. The mayor says it's a good reminder for drivers to slow down, especially as the weather gets warmer.
The Milwaukee Fire Department is committing to mental health support.
I want to see our members smile again more. I want to see our members maintain and strengthen the interpersonal relationships with each other and with their family members and with their friends.
Milwaukee Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky tells WTMJ his firefighters are used to
tightening up our straps and let's go to the next one.
But now they are prioritizing mental health, especially with the increase in calls every year.
It has a cumulative effect. I don't think it goes away. It's stacking up and backing up on our firefighters quicker.
Julian Johnson, WTMJ News.
Fire Lieutenant Joe Flick founded Ignite the Spirit MKE, a volunteer-driven nonprofit providing emotional and physical support for our firefighters. They're partnering with MFD to now provide mental health support.
Well, dementia patients, caregivers, and doctors partnering together for the latest 4-year state dementia plan. Wisconsin Alzheimer's Association Director of Public Policy Allison Kramer tells Wisconsin's Midday News the goal is to improve care, and for that, they need to hear feedback on how well the plan is being implemented.
We're going to have a community advisory board of people living with dementia and their caregivers to kind of judge how things are going in the field, if you will, and making sure that what we're creating is trickling down to real people.
Kramer says the planning process includes hearing from people from all of Wisconsin's 72 counties. Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. About a half hour away from coverage of Brewers baseball tonight on WTMJ, it's the Brewers and Tampa Bay Rays in Game 1 of a 3-game series. Meanwhile, the Bucks return home trailing the Pacers 3-1 in their best-of-7 NBA playoff series. Still not clear if the Bucks will have Giannis tomorrow night for Game 5. Coverage of tomorrow's game gets underway at 8 o'clock.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:35.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Beautify your entertainment space with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hi, this is Gina Della from Pella. Turn your ordinary space into something extraordinary with brand new Pella windows. The luxurious look, sleek design, and custom colors available is guaranteed to give your home the extra pop to entertain and keep you comfortable. At Pella, we see windows differently. We have the highest rated energy efficient products and a complete range of durable, functional, and high-quality products that bring out the best of your home. Plus, getting the perfect windows and doors for your home has never been easier. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months, or no down payment, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months if you book before April 30th. That's right, get 0% interest for up to 36 months, or no down payment, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months. If you book before April 30th, take ownership of your living space and make it a place worth living with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Here we are with meteorologist Brian Isnansky. Hey, Brian.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Good. We were just talking about the voodoo lilies in bloom, and they smell like rotting meat.
Yeah. Does that appease you in any way?
Where are those at? At the
It's
Botanical
at the
Gardens
domes.
or something? Oh, the domes. Yeah. Yeah, no thanks. I'll stick with my tulips.
Greg is a no-go with that. He doesn't understand
Yeah,
it.
I don't get why we do this, right? And you get like a line wrapped out the windows or on the door for, I don't know, about an hour to get in to see this flower, and it reeks. People spend money
Is it like
to do
the
it.
same thing as like the corpse flower or
Yeah,
something like
it's
that? Because
a
I know they have that
cousin.
too.
It's a
Okay.
cousin of the corpse flower, and it's trying to attract flies. So what do you think flies are attracted to?
Stench.
Yeah, a stench. But right now it's not stenching anymore. It's still in bloom.
It'd
Anyways,
make it even worse.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, like, you go in there and see it, there's just like a bunch of maggots crawling on it or something? Like,
Right?
ew!
Ugh.
It has to pollinate, right? It's doing its work. It's doing God's work. So are you, Brian. How's the weather?
Yeah, I don't know about that. Weather's fine. We got some scattered showers. I'll be honest with you, I'm moving slow. We were out in Vegas over the weekend for Julie's 40th. Just got back last night.
Tell her happy birthday.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, no, we had a really good time. But yeah, back at it today. Glad anything heavier held off. We just had a couple scattered light showers this afternoon, but those are already starting to clear out of here.
Where did you guys stay?
We were at the Venetian. Venetian was cool. Enormous place. Like, if you don't like big resorts, like, stay away from the Venetian. That's a giant property.
Did you
get
take her on the
lost there.
gondola at all?
We didn't do that. She kind of hinted that she wanted to a couple times, and it just never happened. We had plenty of other, fun activities. We did. Okay, so I hope she doesn't get mad at me like sharing this, but like she wanted to live like young again. That's kind of the whole thing with 40s. So we did one of those like really like raging beach club, like day club party scenes.
Yes.
Like Cabana. It ended up being like literally the guy was like, "This is the worst day we've had so far this year weather-wise. It rained all day. It was like 50s and rainy, and but we made the most of it. It was a lot of fun, and we ended up laughing about the situation, and it was still a good time.
Oh, I thought you were going to see like Carmen Electra or Snooki or something like hosting out there.
No, but there was a dude, the guy who we had by our cabana. He was like, "All right, there's gonna be a high roller showing up. He's not anybody famous. He's like, there's gonna be a big spender showing up." I said, "Well, how are we gonna know who's the big spender?" He goes, "Oh, you'll know." So, dude had 3 times a caravan of 3 bottles of Dom Perignon sent to his cabana. They were $2,700 a piece. He had 30 of them.
That seems excessive, Brian.
I mean, what do you think? So
Did you say, "Hey, can I borrow one, bro"?
I was wondering why I didn't get a sip. I'm over here with my Coors Light, get the champagne of beers with the High Life, and I couldn't get a sip. It was unfortunate, but yeah, that I definitely knew who the high roller was. The big spender.
Wow. Oh, I mean, Julie couldn't get in there and say, "Hey, it's my 40th birthday." I love it. All right,
I probably
Brian.
didn't want her go. I probably didn't want her going over there.
Yeah, she'd steal. he'd steal her away.
Well, you would have had a bottle of Dom, if nothing else.
That's true.
All right, take us home,
so.
Brian. Tell us the rest of the weather.
All right, sounds good, guys. Yeah, so for tonight, we're looking at decreasing clouds tonight. Actually turning out to be a quiet evening. 46 degrees for a low. Tuesday, mostly sunny. High of 68 degrees. Inland gets into the lower 70s, and then we get a lake breeze near the lake in the afternoon. Chance of storms Tuesday night. We're going to watch most of the stuff, though, kind of fizzle out to the west of us. Slight chance of showers Wednesday, 72. Thursday, showers more likely, 65. And then some showers and storms likely early on Friday with a high of 70 degrees. Multiple chances of rain, but these are not all-day rain events, guys.
Well, yeah, Vegas will, bring you back down to earth really quick, Brian. You don't sound like you have a combination of a concussion and mono, so well done.
Yeah, I'm alive, that's for sure.
You did
Little
it.
fuzzy, but alive.
Hey,
thanks, guys.
All good. 541 on WTMJ.
It's like playing baseball in the house.
Mom, Dad broke the window.
Without the risk of...
Again.
That. Every Thursday at 8:40, play virtual baseball on Wisconsin's Morning News. Step up to the virtual plate and test your mettle against the best.
Swing and a drive to right.
It's virtual baseball, presented by Siding Unlimited. Only played here on WTMJ. It started with a prediction.
Go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Family owned and operated. Yep, we sure are. Since 1970. And I know you've probably heard it a million times. But the words family owned and operated hold a lot of water. They mean you can count on dealing with an expert. Because when your dad runs the show, he teaches you all that he knows. They mean prompt service. Because it's not just our job, it's a big part of our life. They mean you're actually working with someone who has accountability and a real interest in your satisfaction and their business's overall success. So when you hear businesses say the words family-owned and operated, give them a try, because small business owners like us really do have your best interest in mind. And when you need advice from southeastern Wisconsin's foremost glass experts, call me. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Hi, I'm Mike Gansey from Yancey & Associates. We're passionate about continuing on our mission to help more Wisconsin businesses create more success. If you have any questions about our insurance products or just want a second opinion about your insurance or employee benefits, I invite you to check out ANSI.com, or better yet, give us a call at Yancey & Associates. And let's have a conversation about your business and how we can help you secure, protect, and grow your version of the American dream.
Another MVP has joined the roster at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, Dr. Michael Nolte. Expertscape recently named him part of the top 1% of spine expertise in the world. Dr. Nolte has published over 50 peer-reviewed articles in leading scientific journals and authored more than 100 national presentations. They added this MVP specialist for orthopedic, neurosurgical, and spine care because at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
Let's get you home with Debbie Lazaga.
All right, southbound on 43, watch for delays just south of Capitol Drive all the way down to about North Avenue. There is a broken down vehicle with the right lane blocked, so that's going to be tying things up quite a bit. On the northbound side, backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue up past Keefe. Westbound 94, you're seeing delays from about 20th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. A little bit past that on eastbound 94, right at 68th Street's on-ramp. Off on the right shoulder, looks like we got a broken down vehicle there as well. So delays coming in from 84th Street. And then, of course, we've got delays on westbound 894 from about 27th Street all the way to about 68th. That's part of that construction zone. APR Eyes on the Roads report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
A huge collaboration by the Associated Press, Frontline PBS, will air this as a documentary about this project tomorrow at 9 p.m. and the Howard Centers for Investigative Journalism. They found dozens of deaths which reveal the risks of injecting sedatives into people who are being restrained by police. One of those investigative journalists is Ryan J. Foley, who joins us by phone. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
First off, thank you. What are these drugs people are injected with?
Yeah, there's a range of drugs that paramedics use to sedate people during these incidents, and two of the most common we found are a drug called midazolam, which is perhaps better known by its brand name Versed, and then another drug called ketamine, which was used in the two cases that we looked at in Wisconsin.
It led to about 94 deaths that were highlighted in your report. And as you said, two of them took place in Wisconsin. I saw that you actually led your report with Demetrio Jackson's case out of Eau Claire. Can you share what happened in that case?
Yeah, Demetrio Jackson's tragic death is an example of what can go